Alright, what is up everybody? It's been a very long time since I've played this. I'm actually really looking forward to it. Hey, Kiba. Alright. Gonna probably make a knight because they have cool armor. It's that easy. Go with cool guy with beard, alright. Let's see. I normally go with the white branch. If Dark Souls 3 is so good, why isn't there Dark Souls 3 2, huh? Well, I mean, there's the DLC. What's our name, chat? I mean, we can always go with green, but I've already got like 4 characters named green, so I'd go Green Knight, but these since they're Knight. Streamer is dead. This is ridiculous. Snail. Snail's not bad. We're not gonna be a magic user or anything like that, though. Patriot. Let's see. Oh yeah, Thanksgiving. Bob. There we go. I like that. Bob it is. Rusty's not bad either, honestly. Wait, I think I have to do voice. Good enough. Alright. Alright, looks good to me. Got our white branch. So, I love Dark Souls 3. I haven't played it in a very long time. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is R1. Right, like, the only attack that's good in Dark Souls 3 is R1, for the most part. That I'm not too, happy about. Like, Elden Ring is a real improvement with, R2s and all that actually being worth a damn. Alright. And it has been a while. Look at this guy. What a loser. He was probably an elf when he was alive. Why is there 3 and not 2? We'll play Dark Souls 2. It'll happen. I haven't played that in even longer. That'll be an interesting experience to just, like, kind of examine it as we go. Trying to not click Elden Ring buttons. Might be too quiet, we'll see. Let me know if this is too quiet. This is definitely one of the easier tutorials in the series. Although, my god, anytime I've seen streamers play it, they normally die in here. I do get that the really early enemies are kind of best to be a joke, so people can get accustomed to just what the controls are and stuff. Like how that guy just keeps swinging in the wrong direction like an absolute idiot. Look at him just stand there. Good job. Man, I can't teabag in, Dark Souls 3. Yeah, I figure a lot of people will die to the... Oh, that's not how you two-hand. There we go. Man, Elden Ring brain. That's gonna happen a lot. I don't remember if I died to this thing on my first playthrough. I don't think I did. But I don't really remember him. Okay, that was kind of bullshit. No travel time on that attack. One of those. Oh yeah, R2s don't really do anything. Excuse me. Out here chugging. Man, that just feels like shit. It's like you're attacking, trying to attack at the last second, but then like how fast the attack comes out, there's no way you're gonna roll. Even though like he hasn't even started the animation or the attack part of it. It is what it is. Yeah, but the only times I got hit there was just me being greedy, but It just kind of feels like they're like forcing you not to be greedy with some of those attack animations where they come out that fast. Like, oh, I'm powering I'm powering it up, and then it just fires off like a laser. They don't do that too much in Dark Souls 3, though. They do it all the time in Elden Ring, though. Yeah, I think Dark Souls 3's biggest weakness really is just how there's no real reason to R2. It's just R1, R1, R1. And this is what I really don't like. So in Dark Souls 1, running attacks did slightly more damage than in R1. So obviously, it really, you know, if you could get a running attack in, you're happy to do it. Where in Dark Souls 3, a running attack does less damage. So you're generally better off, like, especially in PvE, you're better off, like, running up to them, stopping, than swinging, right? And it just sucks. So even when a running attack makes complete sense because you're, like, closing a gap or something, you still don't want a running attack, right? Like, that was pretty bad design, in my opinion. It's actually really strange, because rolling attacks and running attacks are both very good in Dark Souls 1. And they nerfed the shit out of them, right? They made both rolling attacks and running attacks pretty bad in Dark Souls 3, and that's why it's R1 Souls. Because it's just like, why do them? There are a few weapons that R2 is good, right? And in PvP, like on Straight Sword here, R2 is decent, right? Like, you got the whole R1, R2 mix-up and stuff, right? Like, that's got use. Not much use in PvE, though. Oh, right, we don't have a dedicated jumping button. Yeah, I actually think Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are, for the older, you know, the Dark Souls trilogy anyway, they're much better when it comes to making you use your whole moveset. Like, I love Dark Souls 3, but that is definitely a failure of Dark Souls 3 is how unimportant most of your moveset is. And same for, like, weapon arts, right? Only a few weapon arts are actually worth using. Where Elden Ring weapon arts are maybe too good, right? You use them all of the damn time to the point of absurdity. So a middle ground would have been really nice. Maybe in the next game. Elven aim. I thought elves were supposed to be good at archery. What a joke. See, if that had been an orc, been a whole different encounter, chat. Would have been way harder. Alright, let's not embarrass ourselves and die to the first boss. We can die to any other boss, but let's not die to this one. Really looking forward to fighting the proper version of him later. Fight's awesome. The shoulder bash he does is the only move that's a little bullshit. Fuck, that's not how you two-hand. There. Did I not have the stam? Like, I couldn't do my thing. Oh my god, I keep clicking Elden Ring buttons. This is definitely gonna be a reoccurring problem. By fire be purged. God damn it. I'm not gonna lie, the second phase, if you don't kill it really fast, is pretty annoying because it's hard to tell what the fuck he's doing. Oh, he's got no health, though. Honestly, that fight's easier, I think, if you just go ham on him. I can tell he's hitting you. Shut up. We got him. It's fine. Hitting the Elden Ring buttons was not really helping me out much. Yeah, that fight's probably easier if you don't even try to dodge anything and you just mash R1. I think you'll probably kill him that way more times than not. Yeah, we'll fight the samurai. I might wait until I get the axe though, because I love using the charge on the axe on that guy. It's really funny. But if you mess up, he'll parry you actually, so it's kind of cool. I'll fight him before leveling up or anything like that. Well, we can fight him with the sword just to make it harder, but also a good way to waste an ember. Not that you really need embers for anything. Oh, chat, we have to decide what level we're going to be. I kind of want to stay lower level so it's harder, right? That's like the big thing with Dark Souls 3 is it's really easy to overstat everything, and I don't want to do that. I've got a million level 30 characters, though. I can't be level 1, I'm already past that. I like being a level that makes sense for a PvP, right? Where you can invade. Like, being able to invade Cathedral of the Deep is always my favorite, so if we can at least be the level for that, that's probably... 60 is nice, but, I don't think I could do Cathedral then. I do kind of want to be maybe 35, 40, because I think that's kind of Cathedral of the Deep level-y. Hey, boy. Well, I already have a bunch of level 30s, so I should at least be like 35 or something. Is there a dog over here or something? Oh yeah, Homeward Bones. That's right, we can't teleport whenever we want. $27, that is so specific. 45 might be okay, but it might be too high. Like, I would think 40 is about as far as you could go for Cathedral, but I'm not really sure. We'll see as we go here.
Good.
Very good. That's actually in this game. I need to get that. Okay, chat. Can I do the tree jump? And I still do not... I cannot ever decide if this is intentional or not. It's like, it seems intentional because it's like, you see the loot right there, you know, and everything, but... And like, also, what makes it seem intentional is because this jump does not give you access to everything, right? You still do need to get the key eventually, right? Because you can't get in the tower and that kind of thing. But the reason why I don't think it's intentional, like, is because it just... The jump feels so wonky, right? Like, it's ridiculous. But it just, coincidentally, it seems very balanced, right? Like, what you actually get from doing it is very, like, reasonable. I would love Miyazaki to just tell us. Because that tree is so conveniently placed, like that loot on the ledge there and stuff. You know, it seems intentional, but then the jump itself doesn't seem intentional at all. There is one for a Homeward Bone, I think. Okay, and then there's, I think there's one for an Ember? Nope. Well, I don't really have it. I think there is one for a branch, but not this one. That's the special one. Well, I guess that's all I can do then. Look at this, chat. I already have all my ring slots. I don't have to fucking unlock them. I hate that in Elden Ring so much. So stupid. Honestly, there is just a lot about Elden Ring I really don't like. I mean, there's a lot that I do like. You know, jumping and the core combat feels great. It's definitely the best in the series. You know, there's a lot of good stuff, but oh, Jesus. Blah, blah, blah. Don't mind taking in the sights some, but I don't really care about talking to a lot of these NPCs. No pump-a-rum. Yeah, well, we got one thing. It's back. So much better in this game.
as is that.
Yeah, they used like the Dark Souls 1 point down in Elden Ring. Not nearly as good. I don't think we need anything really in here. Should be fine.
Ashen One.
I do agree Dark Souls 3 is the best for boss fights. Like, absolutely. Alright, we're not gonna level up or infuse yet. I'm gonna go grab the axe and then we'll fight the samurai guy. We're really susceptible to invaders right now though. At the start, High Wall is nothing but Omega Twinks, and like you're at your weakest right now, so if you get invaded, you're pretty much fucked. But oh well, it's just part of how it is if you don't twink. That's why a lot of people twink though. They get their friends to drop them all the rings right off the bat and stuff because they don't want to be at a disadvantage. But at the start, it's such a ludicrous disadvantage because like you have 5 flasks, the invader has 7, and their flasks heal for more than yours, and they have 4 really good rings, and you know there's just no way. Just the way of it though. All right, I'll probably just be really quick in here though because I want to grab the axe and then just go fight the samurai guy, and then we'll do this place for real. I'll grab some loot. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna kill some of these guys because they can drop raw gems. Always like to get one fucking wall. Always like to get one raw gem to drop though. Oh, chat, what are we gonna use? Now, if you want to be like the best you can in PvP, straight sword is the way to go at the start. It's just so good, it's ridiculous. But it's also the most like boring thing on the planet. Blast cancel, by the way. The legit type. There's Claymore, it's right up there. Club. Actually, in PvE, club is fine, and it has uses in PvP. Of course I get shot in the back. The only reason I'm kind of... Oh, baby, we're so lucky. Normally it takes a lot longer than that. That's so good, dude. Yeah, I don't know where the Wyvern is. He didn't show up for some reason. But, I'm kind of hesitant to use Claymore because I honestly just don't remember when you're supposed to R2 with it. And that's like one of the few weapons that R2ing is good. But maybe that's a reason to use it. Like, get good all over again. That really is streamer luck. That's insane. Because, like, normally it only drops, like, if you farm the shit out of it or if you have item find, right? And I have no item find. Look at him delaying. I saw... you little shit. Guy's a master of the shield. Also a master of dying. Yeah, honestly, that guy's drip is super good. If you want, like, if you want to get like counter twink, get the Illithral straight sword off the bat, and farm that armor set, and then just try to grab the best rings you can, and you can be like set up to fight invaders solo like fairly well, fairly quickly. Like, you're still gonna be at a disadvantage early on, but that's like a really good way to get good shit quickly. I don't know why the dragon waited so long to show up. Yeah, Claymore is definitely a possibility for an item we use. Fucking... Oh god. That follow-up. Dude, I'm trying to two-hand and I keep clicking Elden Ring buttons. This is gonna take a minute. Oh my god, why did I forget that's a mimic? How is that our first death? How did I forget that was a mimic? Are you kidding me? Dude, I swear to god this is not scripted. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. That is just wrong. How is my first death to a mimic, dude? No, guys, I did it for content, guys. It's a fake chat. I was just kidding. Totally didn't forget about that. I completely blame Elden Ring. It's because mimics aren't in Elden Ring, dude. Have we gone soft? Has Elden Ring made us gone soft, chat? Is that what's happening here? God, now I have less health, so I'm less likely to get the claymore here. Let me get my souls back before I do anything stupid. Okay, the dragon didn't breathe, so I could have just grabbed it. Ridiculous. Well, Chad, at least it wasn't an elf. Let's be honest, though. An elf in a chest wouldn't be even remotely dangerous. Mimics have a significantly higher power level than elves. Not even close. Woo! Bit more tracking on that grab than I remembered. Crap. I don't know why I'm R2ing. There's very little purpose in this game. Why are you dissing my favorite fantasy race? You picked the wrong one. Look, elves are... Let's not kid ourselves. Elves are fucking humans with stupid ears, okay? Like, they put so little effort into those. Elves. Go help Santa. Fucking Christmas time. How dare you? How is that hitting over here? What a dick. God, I still can't believe my first death is to a mimic. It's just unreal, dude. I was not kidding when I said I hadn't played this game in a long time. Come on. Come on, block. Why is it as soon as I'm ready to do the guard break, he just stops blocking? There you go. One, two, three. Chat, for pride, I'm not gonna Ember until I kill a boss. I gotta earn that health back. Fucking mimic, though. It'll make Vort a lot spicier. Besides, if you get your Ember form back from killing a boss, you don't lose anything from your death earlier, right? Like, you don't have to exhaust an Ember in your inventory. So it's kind of like erasing the failure. Actually, I'm all about PvP, but you know, anyone that invades you in a high wall is just gonna be on Omega Twink, so it's pretty low quality PvP there. All right. Let's fight the guy. I'll do invasions myself though, when I can get the orb, which oh hey, he's already here. I think you can get it once you've gone to the settlement. So I know he won't like give you that part of the quest until you get a little bit farther in the game, but I think the settlement is far enough. Yeah, you need a tongue, but then you still have to be far enough into the game. Like if you invade right now and get a tongue, he won't give it to you. All right. One moment. All right, how bad can this be? Although without my Ember form, maybe pretty bad. I guess we'll find out. Good start. He tries to parry this, but you can't parry the charge. You can parry the chop, but if you hit it by the charge, you're like fucked. Uh-oh. Oh, no, we got it. Woo! Yeah, this counters him pretty good. Holy crap. Like, that's no... that's no joke. It kind of just slaughters him. The main thing is just don't do the charge far away from him. Because then if you whiff the charge part, he like auto parries the slam at the end and then you're dead as hell. But yeah, that's actually really easy. God, Lords of the Fallen. That game was such a catastrophe. So much I don't like about that game. I've heard they've patched it though and it's better, but I might try it again way down the road when it's on sale and stuff. It did have a lot of really cool armor. Definitely give it that. Point down, yeah. My shield is half covered in blood. 20,000 for that. Okay, we can do high wall for realsies now.
Action 1.
I could use the axe for now. I don't mind that. I don't really like the deep damage though. Wait, can I just make it raw? That's kind of a waste of a raw gem. Oh wait, hold on. We could do claymore. Although I have to level if I want to use claymore. Yeah, the movement is really jank. I mean, what do you want, chat? Do you want claymore? Do you want an axe? Obviously, I'm always happy to use an axe. They're better in this game than they are in Elden Ring. Claymore is a classic, though. I can't remember when you're supposed to R2. I know R2ing is like huge on this weapon. We could use both, right? It's not too hard to use claymore and axe. Let's use axe for now because one, I love axe. I mean, look at this thing, right? This is fucking awesome. I love axes, and we need higher stats for the claymore anyway. But yeah, we could do axe and claymore or something. Like covered in blood on my back here. We'll make this thing raw. We'll get a second raw gem, so it's okay. And then, we'll say +0. I think, well, we could do, I'll do +1. I think I can only do +1 anyway. Okay. Ready to murder. My favorite axe in this game, though, is the Dragon Slayer one, the like small one, but the regular battle axe is my second favorite. I really like it. Try to keep our inventory somewhat clean here. Yeah, it's from Dark Souls 2. I like it better in Dark Souls 3, though. They gave it a weird moveset in Dark Souls 2. I actually like it better in this game. Which is unfortunate because the bandit axe moveset and battle axe moveset in Dark Souls 2 is the best moveset an axe has ever had. So if the dragon one had that, in Dark Souls 2, I'd be so happy. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I do love the classic knight look with an axe, though. Big fan. I need the elite knight legs, though. They look a lot. That's the only thing I don't like about the knight set is the legs from the back look really stupid. Like raggedy. How did that go through my block? Could have dodged. All right, big guy. That's got to be the easiest thing to backstab. Way to go, idiot. Yeah, I don't really like double-sided axes as well. I prefer the, like, they got like a hammer on the back or a spike or whatever. Also, there's not a lot of cases of double-bladed axes anyway. Now, you have stuff like this, and that's for, like, weight, right? But there really is no reason to have, like, this giant blade on both sides. It's just, there's no real reason for that. Now, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of things done in the medieval period that didn't really make a lot of sense. But yeah, I definitely prefer when they have like a hammer on the back or a spike on the back or something like that. I love axes though because they have a lot of the benefits that swords have, and then they have a lot of the benefits that hammers and stuff have. They're not as, you know, weighted, and they're not as good against armor, but they're better than swords are. And then they've got like, because of their unique shape, they're very good at disarming people. That's something you never see in anime and movies and games. But like, this axe is not the best for it, but you could still do it. But like the Dragon Slayer axe is way better for it. But like between the shaft and the blade, it's really easy to like catch someone's weapon and basically just twist and disarm them. It's super effective. But games and anime and movie, they're always like, oh, brute with axe. No skill, right? That's how they always portray axes, which sucks because it's just not the case. I think if you let this guy do this, get more loot apparently. What is that damage? Oh, I didn't equip fire bombs. Well, this will be interesting. My man can almost one. I like how he basically one-shots me, and then, like, there was just really no way to dodge that follow-up attack after standing up. That was like perfect combo off the wake up there, essentially. I think I was mashing roll. Maybe I would have gotten it, but I don't know. Kind of lame, but what are you gonna do? I've never liked those guys' moves that much. And I just like flaily and spammy, and like the timing so I just took fall damage. Boy, that's another thing I think Elden Ring maybe did a bit better job with. What the fuck? That dog just teleported and then went through my guard. Though I tell you what, game, if you want to give me another raw gem, I'll take that. Yeah, that enemy is kind of bullshit. There's not a lot of enemies in Dark Souls 3 though that I think are bullshit, but that is one of them. You can kill him before he wakes up, but I think he like drops bonus loot the first time you kill him if you let him wake up. It's like that, it's like, there's no real indication that's gonna happen, right? It just, you kind of have to memorize it. Like the follow-up, the second swing is so quick that, yeah, it's not really intuitive. It's just something you have to... Yeah, I think he only drops that extra set of loot right there if you let him wake up, but only the first time you kill him. Yeah, I don't like enemies in Souls games that their movesets are kind of just flaily, no real clear, you know, tell, and then it's all about like memorizing it. That's not my shtick. I don't like that kind of gameplay. It makes it feel like a Castlevania kind of game which I don't really like that. Like, I don't like boss fights in Castlevania games generally because it's just pure memorization. You know, I'm gonna kill these guys because they can drop raw gems, and if we get another one, all the better. You really only need 2 though, because you get 1 guaranteed coming up in a minute. So I could do like raw axe, raw claymore. Although I'm gonna want a raw Dragon Slayer axe. I love that thing too much to not use it. Shut your mouth. No one wants to listen to elves scream. That's why they're so tall, chat. They're elves. That hitbox. I'd be pissed if I was him. No raw gems. Although these guys can drop them too. I just tried to guard counter. I just hit a wall. Alright, being good and thorough. Now, I remember this. If you just walk off this platform, you actually take fall damage, which is absolutely ridiculous because it's such a tiny fall. But if you land on the battlements here, you don't. Pretty cool, my R2 one-shots without having to charge it. Because it's raw +1, I presume. You take fall damage here? I don't think so. Like, why even put this here? Okay. Come on, drop a raw gem. Maybe that's a raw gem, you never know. Nope, that's good too though. Idiots. Alright, Mr. Lothric Knight. 3rd time killing you. Give me something good. Good start. Not a damn thing off. Oh, wait a minute. Well, there's the helmet, which honestly only looks good with its own set. Like, this don't really look right. The neck is too, and it's like, it's shinier, right? Like the rest of the armor's kind of darker, then it's really shiny. Doesn't quite work. It does look good with its own set, though. Wow. There is so much. We'll talk about Dark Souls 2 when we get there. I will play Dark Souls 2. Maybe we play backwards. I'm kind of honestly looking forward to playing it though, because it really has been just such an outrageous amount of time since I've played it. Anything? Anything? No. I wouldn't say I love the world of Dark Souls 2. I like the levels individually. Like, the world is like the whole thing collectively. And the whole thing collectively is just the most, like, nonsensical, you know, setup ever. And I think it actually has the worst world out of all of them. Because it's, like, so poorly connected. But some of the individual levels look, like, awesome, right? They're just great art direction. I think all 3 Dark Souls games have really good art direction, though, when it comes to the individual levels. I think 3 might be the worst, though. Now, it has a few, you know, standouts, like Illithrill, that do look amazing. But, I would say Dark Souls 3 is probably the worst for, like, the art direction. But again, it's not bad. You know, it's just not as good. But yeah, it's kind of gray and yellow, right? There's a lot of that in Dark Souls 3. You know, the lighting, the like dying world and stuff. Like Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 do look pretty phenomenal. Yeah, it does make sense for the game to an extent. It doesn't make it look good though. I think for fashion, I think Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring are the best. Like they're really good, and 3's good, and 1's good. Honestly, they're 3 is probably the weakest though. Actually, I do love this knight set though. Like this really does look fabulous. But yeah, the options in 3 are kind of meh. I think I'd probably rate it like Dark Souls 2 with Elden Ring right on its heels, almost a tie. Right, Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring have great drip. And then definitely Dark Souls 1, right? And then kind of a noticeable step down from that, then Dark Souls 3. All right, we'll let this guy wake up too, because my loot. Why are you not waking up? Yeah, fuck being nice to these guys. They don't deserve it. There we go. What's your Soulsborne game tier list? Like for like everything? Cause like I love and hate different aspects of all of them, right? Like with PvP, you know, PvE, bosses, you know, fashion, it's all over the place. If it's overall, like just my overall enjoyment of the game, I kind of have to separate PvE and PvP. Because even though you a lot of times will do them together, right? You all invade while you're playing through the game and stuff. It's just so different, right? So for PvE, I really do. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to play like Dark Souls 1 again and stuff. But I think Dark Souls 3 is my favorite for pure PvE. The bosses are they're so consistently fun. And like Midir and all that, Dancer, Champion, Gundyr, man, like it's just. I think for PvE it is Dark Souls 3, and this is kind of controversial, but I actually like the linear aspect of Dark Souls 3 because it allows you to kind of just play it without wasting a lot of time. You don't have to backtrack constantly. You can kind of just go forward, build your character as you go, get your flasks, and then you're PvP ready just without even trying and stuff. I really like that. So for pure PvE, I think it is Dark Souls 3. Now, I do really dislike how R1 is like the only move worth doing, right? So it's not perfect. I think if you could like combine Elden Ring's diversity of moveset and giving you reasons to R2 and stuff, if you could combine that with Dark Souls 3's like boss design and everything, that'd be like the ultimate. But yeah, I think Dark Souls 3 is probably my favorite. And then probably Dark Souls 1, because although the combat is kind of aged, poorly, I would say, it's a little behind. You have to baby the game, right? In Dark Souls 1, if you put all your knowledge, you just put it out there and you level up and you get the weapon upgrades and all, it's so easy, right? You'll strong arm everything. You'll two-shot Ornstein and Smough by the time you get to them, right? And it's no fun. But if you do baby the game and you do hold your upgrades back and all that, it's a very enjoyable game. And I think Dark Souls 1 has the best world, and that's such a positive. I don't even normally care about exploration that much, but it is such a joy to traverse Dark Souls 1. Like, even someone like me that doesn't really like exploration that much loves it in Dark Souls 1, right? So I'd probably say Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, then probably Elden Ring. I know I fucking hate Elden Ring's boss design, but I still love its core combat. It's smooth as butter. I love all the weapons and the weapon arts and the build diversity. And I gotta say, I love the art direction of Elden Ring, right? It just looks nice, right? Like, I hate the lighting in Dark Souls 3. This fucking, like, tone, it's kind of like washed out yellow. And, I get it for the lore reasons, I understand. But I don't like this, right? Again, this castle looks amazing, but this lighting does not. Where Elden Ring just has really nice lighting. It's just clean fantasy, right? Elden Ring is very clean fantasy. But I hate the boss fights, right? They're just bullshit. Elden Ring is obsessed with, like, oh, the boss did a big move and you think he's vulnerable now, but then, oh, out of nowhere, he does a follow-up attack, right? So you just have to memorize it, right? They do all this stuff where, like, a boss does a move, like, oh, I can punish that. And it's like, oh, no, just kidding. I just cannot enjoy that, right? It just does not float my boat. But I still like Elden Ring. And then at the bottom is fucking Dark Souls 2, because Although it does have some good boss fights with like Fume Knight, Sir Alone, the Queen Elena, where the fuck her name is, I can't remember. And it's got good fashion, it's got a pretty good aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. It has the worst lore ever. It's so much boring content. It's just filler. There's so many just worthless enemies. The hitboxes are no one can defend this. The hitboxes in Dark Souls 2 are so sloppy, right? Like they're so fucking sloppy. And not only do like the hitboxes not match the animations, a lot of times the like attacks will come out too soon and not match the animation. It is such sloppy garbage. Like the whole reason I fucked that up. The whole reason Dark Souls 2 is so hard to no-hit at level 1 is because the hitboxes are so bad, right? It's not because the game's hard, it's because it's just designed like dog shit. And like, don't get me wrong, the aspects of Dark Souls 2 that I really do like. You know, the fashion is incredible. You know, there's a lot of cool mechanics that they never used again, like bonfire aesthetics and stuff that like, I really like that. You know, there's a lot of, you know, cool stuff. You know, there's some neat ideas with covenants and all that, like the rat covenant. That's a lot of fun, right? Yeah, power stancing, right? You know, they basically just ended up copying that because, yeah, that was the best dual wield. So yeah, I can say a lot of really positive things about Dark Souls 2, but like the fundamentals of the game are so bad that it doesn't matter, right? Wait, is there nothing up? Oh my god. There's only something up here on New Game Plus, I think, or even New Game Plus Plus. So I do remember, yeah, I'll talk about soul memory and adaptability when we get there, right? But I remember once I was a brand new character like this, and I got invaded by an Omega Twink, right? But I wasn't at this point in the game. I was coming back here for like Dancer or something, right? I had killed Vort. But I got invaded by like a Super Omega Twink, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think I had the Obscuring Ring, because I'd been invading throughout my playthroughs, so I think I had the Obscuring Ring. And I remember that the invader had lagged behind me a little bit, right? He was like following me, but he had lagged behind me just a little bit. And so I made this jump, and then I put Obscuring Ring on, and I went like over to the corner, so he couldn't see me. So he was up there and he couldn't see me, and he just assumed that I went a different way, so then he ran off into the level. And because he was such a twink, like, you know, there was no way I could fight him, right? It was like, I did like a 10th of his health, if that, if I hit him, right? It was just like a complete joke. And then so, because he lost track of me, then I just ran to the boss fog, and that was that. It was a good time. A little stealth action there. I have taken so much fall damage from that stupid little drop. And then, I've not played Bloodborne, which I hate that, because I want to, but I didn't have a PlayStation 4, and I'm not gonna buy one, just for it. Also, I never really felt the need to play Bloodborne when it came out, because the PvP is horrible. And so I was like, I can just play it later. Now it's been so long later. Now I'm just like, well, goddamn. But and I'm always hoping they'll bring it out on PC or something. But I've heard that Bloodborne is a lot like Dark Souls 3. So, you know, I have a lot of reasons to want to do it. So because I love Dark Souls 3 so much. But yeah, there's things that I love about all the games, and I don't think they've ever put together the ultimate package. Because like Dark Souls 3, you know, like I said, it's my favorite PvE-wise, but PvP-wise, it's probably my least favorite one. But you know what's weird is it has like the best covenants with PvP, right? Like the core mechanics are awful. I hate the core mechanics in PvP in Dark Souls 3. These suck. Like it is fundamentally not a fun like mechanical interaction that you're having with your opponent, right? But when you get these fun fights where there's like, you know, 2 or 3 hosts, so they're not like they're not being so like pussy, right? Because like Dark Souls 3 PvP rewards being like reactive, not aggressive, and that's like a huge problem. But when like the host has like 2 or 3 people, so they're more aggro, but then you get to work with the mobs, right? And then it's a whole different game, right? And then the PvP can be really fun. Because like the level design in a lot of the zones is really fun for PvP. The covenants are really fun for PvP. And because the game's linear, it's a lot easier to like make a character for PvP and like be it like, hey, I want to invade the catacombs, right? So it's a lot easier to predict, okay, most people in the catacombs are going to be this level, right? Or I want to make a character for Illithril, right? It's a lot easier to say, okay, they're probably going to be this weapon upgrade, this level range, so that's what I'll make the character, right? You can't do that in Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring is so open-ended, that just doesn't work. And I really like that about the PvP in Dark Souls 3. So like, Dark Souls 3 has my favorite PvP in terms of like matchmaking, and in terms of the covenants, but it's my least favorite mechanically for PvP by a lot. I mean, the R1 is almost the only move you ever use, and it's all about just spacing and like swinging in advance. So like right as they come into your weapon arc, it's right as your weapon's damage frames become active. It's so much of like pussyfooting back and forth and trying to bait the other person to be aggressive and stuff. Like, oh my god, it's just horrible. There's not a lot of like mix-up like a fighting game. And what mix-up there is, and I fucking hate this, what mix-up there is and what allows you to be aggressive isn't the game, it's like glitching. It's like going into your inventory really well, this game is a hack, but anyway, it's like weapon switching movesets really quickly, right? And that's just terrible, right? I mean, it's just awful. It's like you can't actually mix someone up or get aggressive on someone without constantly going into your inventory and switching your weapons around and you know, doing gun deers and other, you know, shit like that to basically counter however they're playing, right? You're just constantly going to your inventory to switch to the moveset that counters the way that your opponent is playing at the time. That is garbage, right? That is such a garbage fucking like PvP. It's awful. So yeah, it's pretty much, I can't believe I'm saying this, but mechanically, I think Dark Souls 2 is probably the best. Because Dark Souls 2, it was a lot more like a fighting game with like the options you could do at neutral, right? You could actually throw things out, right? And like be aggressive. And because backstepping was actually good, right? Leaping attacks were actually good. R2s were good, right? So it was a lot more back and forth. So core mechanics wise, I think Dark Souls 2 probably is the best. Elden Ring's close, but I think Dark Souls 2 is better. But it doesn't matter because Dark Souls 2 runs everything because of soul memory and adaptability and all that stuff. So like the PvP sucks in Dark Souls 2 because of that. And like to really enjoy Dark Souls 2 PvP nowadays, you basically have to cheat or get your friends to drop you a bunch of stuff to like manipulate your soul memory and all that. And it's just so garbage. But like mechanically, it's really good. Magic is so much better in Dark Souls 2 than every other game. It's actually shocking to me that like they did such a good job with magic in Dark Souls 2 because it has a lot of variety and the variety matters. There's like real mix-up you can do with your spells, but it's not OP. You don't get fucking one shot. You did in the early days of Dark Souls 2, but after they balanced it, you don't get one shot because someone taps you with some wacky spell, right? It's great. Like the spells feel so good in Dark Souls 2. There's a huge step back in Dark Souls 3 and even Elden Ring. Yeah, what basically happened was Dark Souls 1 obviously is pretty basic with magic and stuff, and you know it's got its uses, but it's very straightforward and easy to dodge, but it hits way too hard. Like to the point where if you happen to get hit by it, you just die, right? And that's not good. And then Dark Souls 2 is able to just make it interesting, or they made the damage more reasonable, but they give you a lot of fun variety, a lot of different ways to use magic. And then Dark Souls 3 kind of went back to being like Dark Souls 1 magic, but just like more streamlined, and I guess a bit less damage, but it's still just easy to dodge, so it's just bad. And then Elden Ring like really tried to reinvent the wheel, and they made magic still for the most part easy to dodge, except for the spells that you physically can't dodge, like Dragon Breath, if you're at the right range, right? And then it does way too much damage again, right? So like Dark Souls 2 is the only Souls game that has good magic in PvP. Every other game has fucked it up for one reason or another. That was close. Yeah, I actually had a magic PvP character in Dark Souls 2 that I loved playing. And I duel with it a lot and invade and stuff. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, overall, probably Dark Souls 3. But for PvP, it's Elden Ring. And again, even though Dark Souls 2, I think mechanically has better PvP than Elden Ring, in practicality, you basically have to cheat to get any of that. So right now, I think you can get the most interesting, fun, like dynamic PvP experience without cheating best in Elden Ring. Now, there's still a lot of cheating in Elden Ring, don't get me wrong. This fucking chip damage, like Elden Ring really does have problems with PvP, right? And like at higher level, no one even attacks. Everyone is just spamming spells and weapon arts, like almost non-stop. When you get the high level in Elden Ring, it's just non-stop weapon art spam. And that sucks, like that's not good. So Elden Ring is definitely still flawed, but it is probably the best. Dark Souls 3 though is fun when it's not like dueling. Dueling in Dark Souls 3 just makes me want to like uninstall the game. But if you can get like, you invade someone in Cathedral of the Deep and they're actually playing through the level and they got their 2 phantoms and you're like a prepared PvP character right? So you're like a bit stronger than them, but because there's 3 of them, it's fair, right? And all that. That's a really good time, right? And like you can use the level layout and all the gravity and stuff. That's a really fun experience. And like Londo's pretty shit now because Londo is now nothing but twinks and cheaters. Especially the cheaters. There's so much cheating in Londo now, it's just ridiculous. But in the prime of Dark Souls 3, Londo was so much fun. There was such a mixture of casuals, gankers, hardcore people. You know, and the level layout in Londo was really fun, and the extra Covenant, you know, summons there would make it really spicy. Right, that was a very unique and awesome experience, and Elden Ring just doesn't have anything like that, and that's a huge disappointment to me. But yeah, I'm so excited to play Bloodborne and just compare it to all these other games. See how it stacks up. Dark Souls 3 is hard to beat when it comes to PvE though, so we'll see. But I'll be open-minded and fair about it whenever I get around to playing it. Please don't be a Mimic, because I honestly don't remember. I should just be attacking chests. I can't believe my first death was to a Mimic. That's just fucking ridiculous. Although I guess it's something about that is kind of like poetic justice, I guess. Wow, we kind of devastated them in there. I knew I was going to take fall damage there. This game. Yeah, the lack of covenants is such a letdown in Elden Ring. Maybe the DLC. Anabashi, what's up, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, man. Thank you for the 64 months. It's one of my longest subs. I really cannot thank my subs enough. Like, just how many years some of you all have watched me, and it's given me a lot of opportunities in life. And, you know, honestly, thanks to my stream and stuff, you know, I'm getting ready to, like, I got a lot of, like, land I own now, and I'm getting ready to, like, rent that out, and I can pretty much retire once that's all done. So, you know, a lot of that is thanks to, it's like the breathing room I got for my stream and stuff. So I've never been a huge Sekiro fan. I legitimately though don't consider Sekiro as Souls-like, and I don't mean that as like well, it's not a Souls game. Maybe it's a Souls-like, but it's I don't mean that as an insult, right? There's actually some things about Sekiro that I love design-wise. Like how you can't, you know, it's very linear and like you can't overlevel things. You know, it really is get good. I really like that, and that's, you know, why I stayed lower level on my first playthrough in the Souls games, so I don't overlevel things and I have to get good, right? And that game kind of makes you do that. I like that. But Sekiro just removes almost everything about Souls why I like Souls. I like Souls because I love the blend of PvP and PvE, and I love being able to be a cool knight with an axe. Right? That's what I love. That's why I like Souls games. There's nothing like that unique blend of PvP and PvE. And like when you first play through, you find a cool item and you're like, man, I could probably use this in Invasions, right? I love that. Right? And then being a cool knight with cool armor with an axe, right? That's like what really gets me excited, right? And then Sekiro is like, yeah, you don't have any of that. There's no invading. You're using a katana. You're not wearing armor. You're like, I don't like weebs too much, right? I'm not big on the weeb stuff unless you're like Shimbata, but that's different. But so it just, yeah, you have no character creation, right? It removes a lot of the aspects of what makes the series really pop for me. So even though I like the PvE design and like the philosophy behind it, I actually like that a lot. It's not really worth everything you lose. And to be frank, if I want to play a game like Sekiro, where I'm going to give up being able to use a cool axe and cool armor and have PvP and all that, if I'm going to give that up, I'd rather just play Ninja Gaiden Black or even Sigma or Ninja Gaiden 2 or something, right? I would just rather play those games because I think they're better at making that kind of experience, right? So if I'm going to have to play someone with a goddamn katana, it's probably going to be that. Now, one of these days, I'm still going to get around to playing it, but it just really is not my cup of tea on a lot of levels. I have not played Lies of P, and the main reason I haven't played it is I'm a frugal bastard and I don't want to spend the money. And again, you have to play like some pretty boy or something with no armor and, you know, no axe and all that. I'm sure I will play it someday, and I'll stream it and all that. I'm sure I'll get around to it. I do like those kinds of games, but I don't like the aesthetic very much. I think I give credit to the devs for actualizing their like goal, right? I think they lived up to the aesthetic that they wanted to accomplish, and they did a very good job of it, right? But I don't like it. I don't think it's bad. I'm not offended by it. I'm not, you know, any of that stuff. You know, kudos to them. But I just don't like it. I don't like the character you have to play as. I don't like the aesthetic of the world. I don't like the setting. So again, I'm just like, with no PvP or any of that stuff, I just don't have a lot of reason to play it. But I know it is fun to, you know, try new experiences and see things, you know, new bosses, their design decisions. I've heard nothing but good things about their design decisions. Like when it comes with how they deal with like blocking and parrying and that kind of stuff. I've heard it's just mechanically very, like, that was some bullshit tracking. Very intelligently put together, right? Yeah, one of these days I'll have to check it out. I think that's like a perfect frame trap. I don't think I could have possibly have dodged that at that angle. Obviously, if it was a different angle, I probably could have, but. Yeah, if you're closer to him, I think you will get hit by that no matter what. I don't think you could dodge that at closer range. At least they're kind of reasonable about it, where like it doesn't one-shot you, so you can get hit by it and then be like, okay, next time when he starts powering up that attack, I need to get farther away. So it's not like the most unreasonable thing I've ever seen, but that is definitely a frame trap. Holy crap, chat! The Souls-like that wasn't made by From Software that I was looking forward to was Lords of the Fallen, but oh my god, there was so much I don't like about that game. And I tell you, a big part of it is like they're trying too hard to be like, look guys, we're doing something innovative. We're not just copying Dark Souls, right? With the fucking lantern thing, but everything about the lantern is just not fun. Everything about it is not fun. Because it's just an extra step to do something you should be able to do by default. It's like, oh, there's like this item right here. Instead of being able to just get it, you have to like whip out the lantern to see the platform to jump on, so then you can get, like, why do I want to do that? That is just, like, that's such annoying, tedious, busy work. Like, holy fuck, I hate that. And they do that, like, everywhere. That game is just constantly making you do things that you should have been able to do anyway, but you have to whip out the lantern to do it first. Just so shit. And the controls for it aren't very good. The game was optimized like crap. A lot of the, like, oh my god, the physics just felt am I alone in this? It's like the physics in Lords of the Fallen felt so bad. And if I swung this axe in Lord of the Fallen, I'm not kidding. Like, let's say you start to swing here. So instead of going from here to here, you would go from here to like here. Like, what the hell? Like, why? And like everything just, and like the enemies were like that too. You'd have enemies that'd be like powering up an attack like this, which, you know, anyone would logically think, oh, he's gonna slam right in front of himself. No, he's gonna, like, you know, come way over here and then slam into you, right? It just, everything felt so crappy like that. It felt very floaty and like almost random how enemies behaved, like how far their attacks would go. And like the lantern was just obnoxious busy work. And then the game optimization was very poor. So like, and those are some really fundamental, you know, things about a game. And when those feel off, it doesn't really matter how well designed everything else is. I'm not gonna want to play it. I'm very picky about my action games because there's a lot of good ones out there, right? We do have games like Dark Souls and Ninja Gaiden and Nioh and things like that, right? There's so many options out there. Honestly, Bleak Faith was more fun than Lords of the Fallen. Like, it really was. And I'll give, so Bleak Faith really does have a few positives going for it. First off, they really made an intriguing world, right? For like how, you know, small of a dev team it was, and them having to like recycle assets and everything. They still made a very intriguing setting and world and stuff, you know, and when you figure it out, it's basically Warhammer. Which is kind of awesome, to be honest. But yeah, they made a very intriguing world with just such a almost like just bizarre and unique aesthetic, but I ended up really liking it. They had some cool armor. You know, it was fun to kind of just figure things out, but it was very floaty, so hit and miss with the boss design and the enemy design. You know, ultimately, it's not that great of a game, I'll definitely say that. And there were so many bugs. Like, I can't believe how many bugs there were. Like, ultimately, it's a bad game. Like, it really is a bad game. But it did have some unique things about it that kept drawing me in. You know, I played it a good bit. I played it more than Lords of the Fallen because The funny thing about Bleak Faith was it was kind of like this, like, whimsical turd, right? Where Lords of the Fallen was just, like, boring, polished, but bad, right? And it was just, you knew what it was, right? You're not gonna be surprised by it. You know, it was not intriguing. And then because of, like, the real obvious flaws it had, you just didn't have any reason to put up with it. You have, like, reasons to put up with Bleak Faith's flaws because it's just so strange and, like, you have no idea what's gonna happen, and, you know, it's just so unique that you had, like, a reason to put up with its bullshit. I had absolutely no reason to put up with Lords of the Fallen's bullshit. I should play Bleak Faith again. I know they patched the hell out of it. So, and I never beat it. So, yeah, I'll have to do that. Oh my god, that swimming section. Like, again, unique, unexpected, and aesthetically, you know, honestly, kind of breathtaking. They had a lot of stuff in that game that was pretty breathtaking. But, mechanically, that whole swimming section was so bad. Like, what the hell was that? That was so unexpected, though. I think that dev bit off more than he could chew. I think that really is a big part of the problem. They tried to do, I think, a little too much. I think they had a lot of grandiose ideas, like how they wanted to do a Souls-like, and I don't think they really had the budget or the team to live up to some of it. And I think that's where a lot of the problems came from. Also, I think the no iframes was just not a good idea. The enemy movesets weren't really designed with no iframes in mind, so it just doesn't work. There's nothing wrong with having no iframes, but like the game has to be designed around it. And it just very much felt like a game that was designed around iframes, and then there's just no iframes. Uh-oh. You really want to kill this guy before the second one gets here. Got him! Chat, this is probably the longest I've taken to do high wall. I did a lot of like unnecessary backtracking. Well, we've got their helmet, their pants, and their shield. So if I want to farm that maybe off stream or something, won't be very hard to do. The sword is pretty good with certain builds, actually. In some builds, it's like the best weapon you can have. I'm not really sure what our build's gonna be, though. Haven't really decided. This is why I'm not leveling up. I mean, I've already got a bunch of characters PvP ready, right? A bunch of different level ranges. So I just want a level range that's like I can invade. So maybe we start at Cathedral of the Deep level, and then maybe we eventually go up to a little bit higher. We'll see. I don't know if I can sneak up on this guy. Nope! Damn it, I thought I was out of range. You fool! He didn't even get the buff. Correct! Did I hear pants as I got in? Yes, we just got their pants to drop. Check it out. Honestly, these look better than what I have, but I think they're... No, they don't make me fat roll. Alright. They're a little too shiny, though. Right? Like, the rest of the set's darker. That's kind of noticeable. That's why I like Elite Knight legs. The problem is you can only get Elite Knight legs quickly by killing Anri, and chat will get mad at me if I do that. Or Anri, or whatever her name is, I actually forget. We will. Yeah, chat will get mad at me no matter what NPC I kill. I could kill her and chat will be mad at me. But then they'll tell me to do it because they want me to fight Dancer. But then they'll still be mad at me. Do I do Vort down a flask? Sure, why not? Dancer is a decently fun boss. She's not my favorite in the game though, by any means, and she is a little Elden Ringy, just a little bit. There's like a dash of Elden Ring, which is not a positive. All right, Vort. Woo! Honestly, the only thing I remember in his moveset is the charge and the ice breath. I don't really remember anything else. Incoming. Damn it, I forgot that he has like a hitbox before the slam. Why is Vort's music like a panic attack? First, like, you know, real boss, because, you know, Gundyr is a tutorial boss. This is like Demon Souls, but you're having a stroke. God damn it, Vort. Vort, you're killing me here, quite literally. That was bullshit. There was a frame drop. I bet you y'all could even see that. Also, fuck you, Vort. You never did the ice attack until I'm dead. That's the you literally win. That's just RNG, right? If you had done that frost attack, I would have already killed him. And he just never did it. And you could probably see that on the stream, though. Right as he did the second charge, the game, like, froze for a second. So I got hit. Because, like, I had the timing, but he fucking... That's so BS. Yeah, fucking BM Frost Breath. I was like, that's generally how you kill him, is he just Frost Breaths and you murder him. But he never did it. But yeah, I swear, you could see that on stream where the game, like, froze for a second. Dude, okay, why is Dark Souls 3 so obsessed with making you take fall damage? Like, I could literally do that drop in real life and it would not harm me. Like, god damn. I have so many bad habits from Elden Ring, though. It's crazy. Got Elden Ring brain rot. And like, I think Elden Ring is too forgiving with fall damage, right? To the point where like things like Cat Ring aren't worth anything. And I like Cat Ring, you know, getting like the host to follow you and they don't have it and you have it. And that stuff's awesome. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is like like fall damage is just stupid over here. And then Elden Ring is way too forgiving with fall damage, so I'd like a happy medium. Elden Ring is so forgiving, though. I'd rather the fall distance be more like Dark Souls 3 than Elden Ring, but just not quite as ridiculous as it is. Died to Vort. To be fair, though, I'm pretty confident I would have won that if the game didn't lock up like that. Fucking... They're just trying to make it annoying to get back. Vort is definitely nastier, though, than, like, Taurus Demon, right? Like, he's absolutely a harder first boss than that. And he's harder than, like, a dragon with the armor, whatever the Dragon Slayer... No, what? Dragon Rider! That in Dark Souls 2, that's the one. I imagine, and I've definitely seen it, you know, streamers that have never played these games before. I've seen plenty of streamers just get, like, hard stuck on this guy. And, like, they've, like, leveled up and everything, and they're still getting wrecked. I'm still base level, but we'll level at some point here. What? Oh, now you do it. See, I'm not even playing better. This is just better RNG. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I played better the first time. It's just that, like, the RNG was so much better on that one. That's ridiculous. Fucking game, dude. Can you imagine if Pontiff was, like, right there? Like, you could do it, right? There's nothing about, like, his moveset where you couldn't do it at that point in the game, but oh my god. Look at all these bloodstains! Dude, Pontiff was supposed to be the final boss. That would have been so awesome. I really liked that in Clairvoyance, Convergence, whatever that mod was called. I loved how they made Pontiff the final boss. That was actually really cool. That was a good mod. It wasn't perfect. You know, there were a few things about it that were kind of whack and kind of just like extra to be the sake of extra. But like, I really appreciated like that boss they added, like the druid guy. I really appreciated that they weren't trying to make him like harder than Midir or Gale or anything like that. He was just kind of a mid-range boss, right? He was a little tricky, right? But it was nothing like bullshit. You know, they weren't like trying to one-up the original game. A lot of mods try to like, you know, it'd be like if someone makes an Elden Ring mod, they're gonna try to one-up Malenia, right? You don't need to do that. Have you seen the Demon Souls Art Stone mod? I have not. I think I've heard of that, but I've not actually looked at it. But yeah, that druid was a very fun fight. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was very reasonable difficulty-wise. But it was a very new experience. It just felt like a proper boss, right? Man, I need to get some life regen so like the stupid hits like that don't really matter. Although, funnily enough, we can get life regen in this zone. And then we can also start invading soon. Wait, isn't he this one? What? Man, really have not played this game in a minute. Yeah, the tree boss in Dark Souls 3 is not very good. The bosses in Dark Souls 3 that aren't very good, be it they be cheap or just too easy or boring, I would say is the tree, the, what is it, the Abyss Skies, I don't remember what that boss name is called, but the Cathedral of the Deep boss, right, that is just such a dumb boss. The Deacons, that's it, Deacons of the Deep. Oh, Ancient Wyvern, like who the hell likes that boss? That one's pretty lame. I have never struggled with the Deacons ever. Even on, well, actually, I will say if you're like really handicapping yourself, I remember once I did Deacons where I was like level 60, you know, plus, you know, 5 or something, and on New Game Plus. Because at the start of that sentence, you were like, what the fuck? But yeah, I remember I was on like New Game Plus on like a fairly like low-end character. I can't remember what my weapon upgrade was. But I remember that was actually kind of hard. But other than that, like if you fought them at like level 1 plus 0, that's going to be tough. That's absolutely going to be tough. But yeah, even at like, you know, plus 2 or plus 3 or something, it's not going to be hard. Man, I'm taking way more damage than I should. Being sloppy. Isn't there a thrall here? What? What? Am I just forgetting everything about this game? I swear there was a thrall right here. All right, I have to free Grey Rat. I don't remember where Grey Rat's key is though. Huh. Oh wait, now I hear a Thrall. I don't know where he was. It's the leader of the Horde. Warcraft, boys. Wait, I just realized this. Is Thrall in Warcraft named Thrall because he was a slave? I never made that connection. That's kind of what a Thrall is. I've never thought of that. That's the point. Yeah, I feel kind of stupid having not realized that until now. Always enjoy this part. As I miss. Wow. I used to be a pro in Dark Souls 1 with free aiming firebombs and like roll catching people with them. It was hilarious. I was like so good at that. I played that game way too much. Definitely don't have those skills anymore. That was a long time ago. Also, the aiming is different in Dark Souls 1. I don't know, maybe if I went back to Dark Souls 1, maybe I'd have some of that still. Wouldn't expect to, though. If I could have done that sooner, I could have really countered her there. Also an elf right there. That's why she's so ugly. Probably turn this flash shard in. Let me at least get like a shortcut or something here. The Undead Settlement is the only zone I don't really like in Dark Souls 3. And it's unfortunate because it's huge. This place is one of the biggest zones in the game. And there's a bunch of loot you don't want to skip. There's like so much useful stuff here. So you really want to do it thoroughly. And I hate that because it's the only zone I want to get through quickly. And you kind of can't. Why did that just... Why did that go through my block? Like, you could see that clear as day. They swung right in front of me. And it just somehow didn't block. What the hell was that? Almost died because of that. Yeah, this place feels like it was like leftover Bloodborne assets. And that's fine for Bloodborne, but this ain't Bloodborne, so... Wow. Those guys are only weak to piercing damage, so I'm surprised that did so well. There's a Bloodborne area that looks really close to this. Yeah, I'll see when I get there. Pretty much all I know about Bloodborne is I know there's a boss that's like 3 fat dudes. So that's a thing. I know there's a boss named Cleric Beast that is got like a crazy roar, right? Because I've even used that roar sound effect in a video once. And then I know a lot about the PvP because I always look into that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I haven't really seen any like actual like solid gameplay of it. I don't know the moves of any enemies whatsoever. I haven't seen a lot of the areas. I've seen some areas just because I've seen, PvP. Whatever area they were in, I've seen random bits of that, but that doesn't tell you much. Like, I don't know when you fight Cleric Beast. I don't want to know when. I don't know when you fight the 3 fat dudes. I just know they exist. Woo! Right in the face. Being pretty sloppy right now, but whatever. Oh, I should not have gone this way first because now Godrick's gonna invade me. Wait, not Godrick. Hodrick. That's the one. And I'm still, base level, etc., etc. How come I take fall damage and she doesn't? Look, I don't want to read your stupid elven book of blasphemy. She has cat ring. Not fair. This is gonna be such a shit show. Like, unless you've leveled up and like really gotten your stats and stuff, you will do no damage to him and he'll like one-shot you. Although, let's see if the giant can shoot him. I actually don't know. Oh, that's right. He like bugs out. I forgot. He doesn't count as an invader. It's really weird. Like, you can use the bonfire and stuff. He's like the only one like that. I have no idea why that is. Very strange. I think it's just a mistake, honestly. Is he not coming over here? Whoa, gentlemen. I don't know what Hodrick's doing. Yeah, I hate NPC fights in every Souls game. And especially when you're like intentionally lower level and lower weapon upgrade. Especially the weapon upgrade. Because then it's just ridiculous. Like the damage ratios and stuff. Wait, hold on. Let me grab. Just in case I die, I don't want to have to do anything in here again. There's an armor set right there, but honestly, I'm not going to use it. Not a chance. Where'd Hodrick go? What? Oh, he's stuck up there. I think you can get this guy to hit Hodrick. I can't quite remember, though. Maybe not. I think it's only when he's a purple sign that the enemies will hit him. I don't know what he's doing. All right, Mr. Giant, if you could give me a hand here so I don't have to fight both of these guys at once. There we go. I actually like fighting these guys, but I don't like fighting them when Hodrick's here. This is just gonna be complete bullshit. Right now he can parry, so I can't really do anything. Of course. So I guess the giant doesn't shoot at Hodrick. Which is weird, because he will shoot at reds. Like, actual player reds, he will shoot them if they don't have the branch anyway. Oh yeah, you can R1 R1 combo in this game. Boy, I'm gonna have to remember that. What? He has more than one flask! OP! I'm actually doing better damage than I thought I would. I can kind of just wait him out now that he's killing himself. What are you gonna do, Hodrick? About to die, buddy. Uh-oh. I wore off. That was easier than I thought it would be. I'm surprised I was doing that much damage. I guess axes is just good though. Input reading from NPCs makes unbearable in Bloodborne. Yeah, I can't even imagine how annoying that is. With them being able to just range parry. Like that just sounds awful. Little hop. All right, now we can turn our flasks and stuff in, and we got a nice shortcut here. Oh, the snakes are no problem. They're pretty easy. I think there's an ember in here somewhere. I don't even know why I remember that. Imagine throwing like mosquitoes or whatever the hell at people. Disgusting. Wow, that tracking. That did not work out the way I had intended. Dogs are so annoying when you have to fight them in a group of other enemies. Frame drop there. Of course. Kind of wish she had more health because her moveset with her club and stuff is actually pretty fun to dodge. I just find it's very common that you kind of burst her down like that and she never does any of it. Yep, the dogs can teleport. That's a very well documented thing. It's very stupid. That comes out so quickly. Woo! This is easier if you've got like a bow or something. That is not, no, okay, I'll just get that when I come back. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Oh, I didn't open, fuck. I didn't open that. All right, we'll just homeward bone here, I think. Oh, wait a minute, I can get a bonfire. Shit. There we go. All right. Now. Kind of late at night, so I don't know if we'll be able to invade anybody, at least anyone that's normal, but we might try here. Maybe go +2 axe. Now, I think for low-level invasions, straight sword is much better than axe. Like, it's much, much better. But I like axes, so I kind of want to go with that.
Ah. Great.
I can go ahead and buy this. That's going to wreck my souls, but why not? Imagine not leveling up, but getting that. Oh, I tell you, before I invade, I should at least get the healing shield from the zone that I'm in. That's useful.
Ashen 1.
Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, my flasks. Yeah, we're so weak right now, and we have so few flasks that we better hope if we invade, we get a normie. I could probably level up just a little bit, level health, because no matter what we decide to do with the build, we're gonna want health. That's probably fine, 13.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Alright, grab that shield, and then we'll see if we can invade somebody and get our tongue. You can loot a tongue in this zone, I remember, but it's more fun to get it legit. How do I go to... okay. Too much Elden Ring. Doubting my buttons. That weapon, honestly, has got such a fun moveset, but the damage is atrocious. I just tried to guard counter. Gentlemen. Dude, his apprentice getting her armor set is the most bizarre thing ever. I can't imagine anyone did that on their first playthrough. Actually, maybe on accident, I could see someone have summoned her and then happened to come back in here exploring and then found it. Can you loot this without him getting angry? Yes. How about that? All right. Down below. You can survive the fall. I know if you take your gear off. There's another way down there, though. What is it? Let me think. Oh, I know what it is. It's the key I just bought. Am I gonna take fall damage? Maybe if I land in that cart, I won't? Nope, took fall damage anyway. God damn it, video game. Woo! We're entering the domain of Reddit. I like how my lock-on broke, so it made me turn around, so my shield stopped working. Got the Reddit mod in here. Oh. Almost disappointing. At least we've had some practical uses for our weapon art. Like, fighting NPCs, I actually think Warcry is pretty good. About the only time it's good, but... I can't believe they nerfed Warcry on axes in Elden Ring. It's so crazy to me, because it's so bad. And they buffed it on other weapons, which that's really obnoxious. Because, like, it was originally an axe-specific thing, and now it's even worse on axe than it ever has been, and then it's only usable on, like, halberds and stuff. Like halberds and spears or lances. Oh, are these skeletons that just die? How about that? I actually think skeletons are done best in Dark Souls 1, Obviously, they're kind of strong-arming you a bit, but it makes them feel so unique and like so tied to the catacombs. It's so memorable. Are they normally in here? Well, they're dead. All right, get the big loot right here. Oh, hold on. There we go. Really good loot, actually, if you want to be a strength build. Where is it? There it is. Can I fast? I can, okay. I found this on my first playthrough, but I actually got that with a firebomb, I remember. I was very proud of myself. Yeah, if you can grab that, though, on your first playthrough, get the Lothric armor, Irithyll straight sword. Like, you're pretty capable of, like, defending yourself from invaders at that point. Because you get pretty tanky with the Lothric knight armor. And, like, you can get the Hovel ring pretty early on if you want to. Get this thing, which gives you this life regen. You can get a blessed gem in Cathedral of the Deep really early on if you want to. And you can, like, bless the Cestus. So then you have 2 healing items. You need to save your flasks. Very useful. Cooler Firekeeper. It is pretty wild that you can have her level you up instead. I think that's pretty cool. I'm sure someone made a challenge where they would not level up until her quest was complete. Which actually, all you really have to do is beat Dancer early, right? You have to beat Dancer early, then just run past all the enemies to grab the tome. And then you've got to get the tome after this area, right? That's pretty much all you have to do, I think. That's not... It's, you know, it's a Dancer early is a pain, but like that's it. I tried Dark Souls Remastered 2 days ago, but the laptop is so potato it makes the game slow motion. Damn, that sucks. Well, the good news is if you got it on Steam, you know, you have it forever. So, you know, if you get a better laptop or something, you can play it then. I know that feeling though, when you don't have a good PC. I love laptops though, dude. When I was younger, I pretty much only had laptops. It was awesome. I don't have one now, mainly just because I stream, so. But yeah, hopefully you can get a better one in the future. Man, that's a really nostalgic feeling, just thinking back to like when I had my working at that pizza place, had my laptop. Oh, good times, man. Let me grab the bonfire down here. Yeah, I've heard that actually laptops are killer now. Like they're pretty dope. Like they can be pretty, because back in my day, if you wanted a laptop that could run some decent games, it had to be pretty heavy, right? It had to be a pretty hefty laptop. But I've heard these days you can have a pretty nice little laptop, you know, run games pretty smoothly. You know, don't play them on max settings and stuff, but it's pretty nice. Once I'm retired and all that, I might look into it. Because it's nice being able to go over to your friend's house or whatever and have your, you know, a good PC, like you can just take with you nice and easy. That's very convenient. What I probably need to do first, though, is get a second PC so I can have one PC do my streams and coding, and the other PC plays the game. That's a really big step up for streaming. So I don't like, you know, occasionally have frame drops like that we had against Sport and stuff. Yeah, what I did when I had a laptop is I got a little cooling fan that you put underneath it. And that really helped. Now, there's different brands, and some of them are like scams and stuff. But there are like some cooling fans you can like put on the bottom of your laptop that really help. And again, just, you know, keep it on like low settings and that kind of thing. But yeah, the cooling is really important. Fuck, I'm looking the wrong way. Yeah, it's the other way. That, okay. Well, while I'm here, I might as well grab this. Watch me die to fall damage. Not quite. Oh, I can invade now. Although you can't invade back here. It actually sucks because technically if I get the tongue in this area right here, I don't need to invade. And I can just grab the proper invasion item. Kind of messed that up. This guy's kind of dangerous right here off memory. Hits like a truck. Basically Taurus Demon, but harder, but I think a bit less health. That's essentially...
No! Should have waited! Well, it's too late now. I, Siegward of the Knights of
Yeah, little frame drop right there. Man, he died pretty quick.
That which we
My onion, bro. Unfortunately, he is the bringer of just the worst things in this game. Fucking Zigbrews are the worst. They're so bad for the game. They're fine if no one cheated, right? Like if they're an emergency backup heal, right? That's kind of that's what they're made for. You know, Zigbrew kind of like, you know, helping you out when you're out of heals against a tough boss. You know, but people item dupe them, right? So they have 999 of them, and they just down them constantly. I can't stand it. They have like, every time you get invaded by like a try-hard invader that, you know, it's all twinked out and he's just like desperate to win, you know, and he starts losing, gets all beat up. Maybe you got an early parry on him or whatever, and then they just start spamming Zigbrews, dude, to run you out of heals. It's so dumb. Like it makes it so people that cheat have more heals. Which is it's just silly. I hate it. You know, they always will have a Divine Blessing every invasion and a bunch of Zigbrews every invasion, and then they're flasks. And then you have hosts that do it, right? Then you have hosts that are cheating, and so they have double flasks, Zigbrews, and Divine Blessing, and it's so fucking stupid. Yeah, it's not his fault people are scum. It's also the dev's fault for not doing anything to, you know, counteract it. So frustrating though, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's no warming stones, but Zigbrews in a lot of ways are worse. Although warming stones are really busted when you're fighting a group, right? The one guy drops a warming stone and it heals all of them, and then it's like, well, warming stones take FP, but then they've item duped the star shards, right? So they have unlimited FP essentially, right? It's so messed up. I just got Sansoned. Red taking me out. That was what the Mimic did earlier. Jesus. I'm like scared of chests now. It is kind of cool. You can block before you can roll. That's a neat mechanic. I really hope the next Souls game finally implements perfect blocking. I love perfect blocked mechanics. I've heard Lies of P has that. I don't know how it works exactly, but I've heard there's something like that. Or maybe it's Lords of the Fallen that has it. I know one of those games had it. But, and old school Vandictus, it's kind of different now, but I remember in old school Vandictus, if you blocked like right before you got attacked, it would be a perfect block, and you see a little green spark, and it would make it so when you block, it wouldn't take any stam. And then you could counterattack if you perfect blocked, and the counterattack in that game was very quick. It was like a really quick shield bash that did a good chunk of damage, some knockdown and whatnot. But you had to be pretty tight with your blocks. Now they've that Vindictus is so much easier now than it used to be. They've changed so much. But I really enjoyed the shit out of that back in the day. And there were like some attacks you still didn't want to block though, so you had to be like careful. It's so much easier to just run past these two, but it's kind of satisfying to kill them. She just attack canceled because of the drop. Nerd. I think Sony is wanting to use Bloodborne as a system seller again. What the hell? But anyway, they want to like do a Bloodborne remaster or whatever and make it be a system seller like Demon's Souls. Because they sold a bunch of PlayStations because of the Demon's Souls remaster. Right? Because a lot of people never played Demon's Souls before, you know, even though the game was already made, right? And they want to do that again. And it'll work. That's the thing, is it'll work. I think that's why they're doing it. Like PlayStation 6 or whatever, they're going to want a Bloodborne remaster for it. Because just like Demon's Souls, a lot of people haven't played Bloodborne. And so like, oh man, that cool Souls game I've never played that I've always heard about. Now it looks like super pretty, right? So yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Which I'm not a fan of. But I mean, they know FromSoft games are just so sought after and so beloved that it's one of the, you know, better system sellers you're gonna have. Okay, I think we're done here. No, we're not. Oh god, we're not. I've still the whole bunch of stuff at the start I never did. Let me invade though. Let me get to a bonfire here. Yeah, we gotta join the Covenant. I gotta get the Sunbro Covenant as well. Yeah, we'll fight the tree just because, right? It's a shitty boss, but we'll fight it anyway. It's normally I'd keep it alive in case I wanted to be invaded, but I don't. The state of the game now, I don't give a fuck about that. So, all twinks now. You're way better off invading than being invaded. Now, when you're farther in the game, then it's not a problem. I still haven't opened this door. Also, I forgot to kill the guy over here. Did I even loot the stuff over there? I don't think I did. That guy just jumped off. Yeah, I never looted the stuff down there. Crap. Okay, can you guys stop attacking in like perfect unison? You're not Luigi and Mario, all right? Apparently they are. Like, what the hell was that? What was that Game Boy game? It was like Mario and Luigi, like something something. And it was all about like, team attacks and stuff. Let's see here. Weinstein and Smo at home. They nerfed the Stora Straight Sword. It's still good, but that thing used to be the early game like monster. Superstar Saga. Yep, that sounds right. Man, increased bleed resistance would be a lot better in Elden Ring than over here. Oh. Oh, right. This game isn't Elden Ring, and it invades based on proximity. I should have invaded at the start, because then you have more level to work with. This is actually a pretty bad spot to invade, because the mobs are probably all going to be gone. So you're kind of on your own, which if it's 2v1 or 3v1, especially if you're not a twink, that's pretty rough. I'm so used to Elden Ring, where the invasions are just, like, moronic. Well, at least these guys are still alive, but they can just run to the boss. We don't have a compass over here. Oh, that's annoying. That's another reason to invade at the start, so you don't have to like do as much guesswork for where the host might be. Oh, he's got a password summon. Some things never change. Password summons are busted over here as well, but they're not nearly as busted as they are in Elden Ring. Like, they're still advantaged, but, you know, there's no weapon art spam and stuff, so it doesn't matter as much. Not really smart going down here, to be honest. Actually, I'm not sure they're in here. Yeah, I didn't think so. They're probably in, like, the lower part. Like, way lower. Like, yeah, I think they're in the catacomb part. Fuck. All I can really do is wait for him up here. It'd be kind of annoying trying to get down there. Yeah, there they are. This is where it'd be awesome if I had like a proper crossbow. Yeah, no cat ring, unfortunately. Kind of sucks. You can't get cat ring until you get to Illithrill, so. Such a helpful item though as a red. Lets you move around a lot freer, and like if you need to get a heal and they're all being super brain at dead aggro, you can like move away, you know, by making it so if they follow you, they'll take fall damage and things like that. Really wish I just invaded earlier. This is not a good spot to invade. It's not very linear, and there's very few mobs. I like invading at the start, so you have like the level to your back, and you can just kind of work through it. It's also very clear where the host is going to be. Yeah, the assassin is useful like that because, or if you just get the spell, because you don't use your FP a lot in this game, unless you're using very specific weapons. You know, I might as well try to surprise them at this part. You can just move away to them. Oh, fuck. Too late. Oh, I have not missed Dark Souls 3 spacing. Well, that guy's pretty high level. It's one of the few good miracles in the game right there for PvP anyway. Oh man, I don't have my fire bombs. Look at this shit. It's 2v1 and these guys are just gonna be super cowards. Some things just never change. It doesn't matter if it's Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Elden Ring, it doesn't matter. Like, they can be password summoned, you know, out gear. Look at my character. Like, are you kidding me? And it's like 2v1 and they're gonna play like this. It literally doesn't matter what game it is. They will just always play like this. So dumb, dude. This is why it's best to not though invade until you're really prepared, because like you can have like, you know, life regen and, you know, ranged attacks and crap like that. Yeah, they just want to hit R1 as you approach them, and that's all they're ever gonna do. I like how he shot the mob and it didn't aggro. I don't know, I think he might have killed it. That might be why, I'm not sure. God, this is so bullshit, dude. That guy's so overpowered. Fucking hate Souls players, dude. They're all just pussies. I mean, look at that guy's damage, and these guys are refusing to fight me with mobs. This is so stupid. And I guarantee you this guy dropped the host rings. Like, I can tell. He's already got life regen. He's already got all the stupid rings and stuff. Like, he just got parried and he did not even take that much damage. Yeah, this guy's done nothing but level vigor, and he's got the rings and shit. And he's Ember form. God, I did not miss Dark Souls 3. Also, I fucking hate straight swords. They're just so newbie. Like, you can just mash R1 and get so much done. Just such a waste of time, dude. I just love how my first invasion is a password summon that just plays like a fucking pussy. It's like, of course it is. That does almost all of my life, dude. And now you just brainlessly mash R1. Good job, dude. What an idiot, dude. I like how the host was just like the biggest pussy and was just hiding behind his phantom. And then the one time he tried to fight me, he gets parried. And that's the one that taunts. Oh my god, dude. I just don't miss this at all. It's so lame. Especially, it's not as bad when you have like a proper character, right? But like when you're like, I'm a normal character, right? And so you're so weak and then you invade these people that just have the most absurd stat advantage on you. And they're terrible at the game and they act like they're good. Like, it just makes me want to, you know, switch characters and play, like, an actual PvP character. Because you just lose to idiots. I just love how the host is the one that taunted when the host had, like, way better gear than me because his fucking phantom had dropped it and he's got Ember form and he was too scared to do anything. And the second he tried to do something, he just got parried and he's just sitting there spamming running attacks. Like, oh man, you're so good. Hold on though. I don't want to invade back here because, God, you can't teleport. But yeah, invading back here just sucks. It's a really bad spot. Oh my god, I still don't have this stupid door open. I don't even get why you can't open it from this side. I do not understand that at all. Because it's like way easier to get to the side of the door that actually opens it. So there's like no reason to make it unopenable from this side. Like most people wouldn't play the level the way I did. Honestly, one of my least favorite things about Dark Souls 3 is just straight sword. It is such a stupid weapon. Like, it is just way too strong. And you can be so bad with it. Like, you can literally just, like be right on top of someone and just mashing R1 and you will catch them. And in a 1v1, it's not like that big of a deal. But when you're outnumbered, it's just so easy to stand in a location that will, like, allow you to roll punish them without even trying to. It's crazy how busted it is in this game. It's still really good in 1v1s though. If I remember correctly, when they would do Dark Souls tournaments, they fucking banned it because it was so dumb. You can tell though, they wanted the straight sword to be really good because they wanted like noobs that got invaded to have like a good weapon to defend themselves with, but I think they went way overboard with it. And like, if you just know like the slightest about PvP, you don't have to be like good, right? But if you just know a little bit about PvP, how not to be a complete idiot, and use a straight sword, you're just like so much more dangerous than you should be. Oh my god, Dark Sword. Yeah, it's still really good. They nerfed it, but it's still really good. Yeah, holy fuck. That's what everyone used because it has the exact same moveset that is just absolute bullshit, right? It's got the dumbest, like, frame data ever. But then it just did crazy damage for some reason. Yeah, you were doing, like, great sword damage, if not better, with that fucking bullshit hitbox. So people were just like mashing R1 and they didn't even care if they got parried and stuff. It was so silly. I remember Ouroboros made that video called Dark Sword 3 where he intentionally played like an idiot and just ran around R1 spamming and he, you know, just murdered everyone. It was so silly. It blows my mind how like every game though the player base acts the same these days, where it's like they're twinked out, their friends drop them a bunch of OP gear, their friends a password summon that has all this in-game shit and is way stronger than you're supposed to be, and then these still play like pussies, right? Like these still have to be super defensive and they only get aggro if like you're low on health and blah 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 blah. It's just like crazy. I do like Dark Souls 1 where like your rolling attack and running attacks are really good. Rolling attacks are really weak. Well, we're not getting any invasions though. Actually, hold on. Just for science, I really do want to check my other characters and I want to see like, is Cathedral popping right now and stuff. Obviously, we'll focus on the new character, and you know, I want to fight the bosses again. You know, I want to fight Madir and all that good stuff. But I am curious here. Let's see, which... Must be this one. I got a lot of characters over here. No one right now, it looks like. It is a weird time of night, though. Oh, wait a minute. I spoke too soon. Let's see if I can remember how to play. Sadly, you cannot make unlimited characters. You can only have 10, and I hate that. I tell you though, I like my characters in Dark Souls 3 a lot more than Elden Ring. I've got a nice diverse roster of characters at level ranges that I'm very happy with. And we got the Twin Spear character, or Great Club character, and all that. I've really struggled in Elden Ring to have a diverse cast of characters that I actually like. And the problem with Elden Ring is it's just so hard to make a character. That's why. It takes just a billion hours to get a fucking character ready. I don't know if this guy sees me or not. Taking that as a no. Woo, the little stagger on the jump there almost got me. Oh god, are we about to have a just spacing greatsword off? This is like the worst. That does seem to be what we're doing right now. Did he just give up? No. I don't know. I guess he was trying to weapon art or something. Thank god that's over with though. I hate greatsword mirrors when both players are just trying to space each other. It's so bad. All right, let's get back to PvE. That's what we're here for. Besides, I kind of feel like at this time of night, I'm just going to get solo hosts. And I much prefer to invade 2 or 3 of them. and you have the level to play with. That's why I don't like invading at the end of the level, though, because then you have no mobs to work with. But yeah, see, like, we got our, you know, our dueling character, you know, 120. We got a Grand Archives. I think they're the dual spear one. You know, that's my Cathedral of the Deep. This one is, like, Illithril. I don't know. This one must have been a stream character. I've only played them for 3 hours. I probably should have deleted that one for this new character. Whoops. Yeah, I think that's... Hell, I think that's the character I made for the Pontiff footage for my Pope Joan video, right, in FGO. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I guess this is, like, Grand Archives, right, and stuff. Wait, hold on. I actually don't know what this character is. Hello. Yeah, I'm confused. Well, oh, baby, this is the good character, dude. I found those VODs. You know, people asked me if I still had the VODs when we played this character, and I didn't know if I did, but I did have them. So I uploaded those to my YouTube channel, the, you know, archive channel, and I actually watched some of my own streams, which I don't normally do. But because it'd been so long, when I'd like invade, I couldn't remember like if I'd win the invasion or not. And actually, it was so much fun going through the streams as this character got stronger and stronger. Like if you had those early invasions where I was undergeared and it was like horrible, and then you eventually get this club and we just started murdering people. I really enjoyed going through those streams and watching those invasions and stuff. That was so much fun. Love this character. Probably my favorite character, actually. That was just such a fun experience, like streaming this character and getting him ready and stuff. We'll have to play this character some, honestly. Like, oh my god, that was such a good character. One of these characters is a dual wield character that I really liked. I think it might be this one. This one's, it's a caster character, but I don't remember what. And this is the one character where I decided to just be a piece of shit. This character is like way more optimized than I normally do, and it's just way like nastier. Like this character is super fucking nasty, with like the stats and the armor, and like this sword at this level is absurd, and stuff. Like this character's broken as fuck. That's like the one I was like, okay, I'm gonna have one character that's just the nastiest thing you've ever seen for the level range. Well, maybe not the nastiest, honestly, you can get dumber than that, but it's pretty broken. And then now we got Bob, and this one I think is... I think that's dual swords. I think that one's dual swords. I think it's like dual straight swords, not the mercenary ones. All right, we'll try like one more time here, but then we'll get back to PvE. Damn. Okay, hold on. I'll invade while I finish up here. I need to get the covenants. God damn it, fall damage. I think I just need the covenants, right? I don't think I need to do anything else. I hope so, because I hate this place. Oh, we're actually invading. 1 minute then. Considering how weak we are, hopefully we get like a normal group of players here and not password summon twink bullshit. Okay. Always good to get rid of these so they can't blow up the mobs. I really should be using straight sword and not axe right now. Axe is just inferior to straight sword in every way in PvP. They're just like the same thing, but axe is worse. I remember you can get this thrall to react to these noises, and you can get him to fall down, which is actually good, because he'll be in a better spot on the level. You have to get him to react to this, and sometimes he'll fall off. Come on, go off. He's not gonna do it, damn it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's way harder to deal with in that location. There's other enemies around and stuff. Okay, so the host has been in here, and then he ran away, I think. Either that or he's sneaking past me. Oh, great. It's them just waiting around, blah, 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 blah. Every goddamn game ever. Claymore, though. A little bit of fireball. It's stam. You know, I probably could have tried to parry that, but that was so laggy. Damn it. If I could have punished that, that'd have been big. I deserve that. Now, if they follow me, I will heal. But I only have 3 flasks, so I really want to be careful here. Well, rip that guy. He probably doesn't have a lot of flasks either, to be honest. Well, at least they played like normal individuals, other than the waiting around thing, but you know, I'll take it. They didn't have a bunch of flasks either, so... Normal low-level fight right there. Yeah, the thralls. Yeah, I figured when I was low on HP, they'd get aggro, so I like to do that. That's a good way to bait people into enemies. Okay, well there's our tongue, so we earned that the proper way. Gotta work for your invasion items, you know. Okay, I don't think I need anything else. Oh wait, no, I need the other covenant. I do feel like I'm forgetting something, but the covenant is the only thing that's like missable that you can't come back for, so it could be all right. But like you could see, like in that invasion right there, you know, it's all about this just stupid spacing game, right? There's no like, you know, throwing out weird options at neutral or doing mix-up. I mean, there's some mix-up in this game, but in that situation, not really. You know, it's kind of all about baiting them to swing, so they just barely miss, and you start your swing before hand, so you don't have to deal with like them rolling out. And it's so much of that, like, back and forth. And, like, the things you can do that are more advanced, right, aren't, like, really skill things. It's LOL, I can switch items in my menu really quickly, right? I love how my axe missed by, like... I don't even know how it missed there, but somehow... And then they just walk off and die. Okay. That would have been a lot easier with his shield. Yeah, thralls are super annoying if you don't have a block. I think they're kind of designed to be that way, though. Dark Souls gives you a lot of reasons to want to block in PvE. He went to the abyss. Yeah, he was out of there. All right. Purple Boy Covenant. Very missable Covenant right here.
Dispute.
All right, I think we are ready to get our invasion item, and then we'll fight the tree. Might as well get this. I should buy more bolts in case I want to use it in PvP. Crossbow can be useful against turtles and stuff. And turtling is like the meta of Dark Souls 3. Alright, let's go get our invasion item. Oh, I'm trying to remember if Hodrick counts as an actual invasion. Because if he does, you can get a Seed of a Giant. Not that I particularly need them, but you can actually use them on NPC invaders, which can be kind of useful. Some of the NPC invaders invade at just horrible locations. Like, the second invasion of Yellowfinger is just awful. She'll invade you, and you're not even remotely near her, and she won't come at you, and now you can't quit or do anything. So sometimes you can, like, pop the thing and get her to die to the mobs out there. Yeah, that fog wall. I don't even know what's up with that. Super weird. I think people have assumed that it's like loading, but I don't think that's actually what it's doing. I've heard like people have like free cammed through it, and the area is loaded, I think. So I don't actually know why it exists. I forget where this part I'm looking for is here. Oh, there it is. I'm sure someone knows. I'll have to look into that. Now, this is really likely to go south. I do not. I remember when I was like in practice and I'd be making new characters and running through the game. I was pretty good at doing this part. But, I am not now, so I'm a little concerned about gravity. I'm trying to think, do we need to do the Yol quest line or whatever, where you do the level ups from him? I'm trying to think. What do you get out of that? You get an emote, you get access to Yuria, and I don't remember what she... I mean, I guess we do it. It sucks because I have to go hollow for a while and level up when I don't actually want to level up. But, oh god. Fuck you, game. You know what's really stupid about that is, like, there's really no logical thing I could have done better. And also, when I landed on that platform, it doesn't count as you landing. That's why I died. Like, that fall actually shouldn't kill you. I'm not kidding. That fall should not kill you. But the game doesn't count as you falling from that little ledge with the loot on it to the ground. It counts you as falling from the very top to the ground when that happens, which is just stupid. Yeah, honestly, I really don't like this part because it's not like, oh man, I made the wrong decision. It's, oh man, this game is so wonky. And even though my decision is completely fine, it just for some reason the physics freak out and you don't, you know, land properly. It's really stupid. Like, if it's like, oh, hey, I dodged at the wrong time and I died, you know, that stuff's fine. But, like, the platforming in this game is just terrible. Like, there's no reason that should have worked and the other one didn't, right? It's just silly. I just realized, though, you don't really need to do that jump because you can go the other way and it's much easier. And all you get out of that, like, hard jump is the armor set, which I'm not going to wear, especially on a guy. Like, even on a girl, I wouldn't wear that. So, you can just go past it and grab the Estus ring because that's what you're really there for. Yeah, I'll be very glad when I have Cat Ring. Cat Ring is at its strongest in Dark Souls 3, hands down. All right, I think that's everything. Can't think of anything else we overlooked. I think this is closest to the boss. All right, time for the tree. We could be fighting awesome bosses like Pontiff, Champion Gundyr, Dancer, Twin Princes, Dragon Slayer armor, Midir, but nope, we're fighting a goddamn tree. That does fall damage. Like, you just... Ugh. Jumping from where you can climb the cage to Zigmire? What? Didn't we already do that? We didn't get the loot over there. Oh, we didn't get the loot down below. Fuck. Yeah, we already did the Zig thing. Yeah, hold on. We never got the loot over here. Of course, the dog fucking input reads me. You can totally survive this fall even without cat ring, but you have to you need to be like naked and have like a you have to land in a very specific spot. Not really worth the risk. I'll be so glad when I'm out of this zone. I enjoy every zone pretty much after this one. I'm not crazy about Demon Runs / Lost Izalith or whatever it's called. That place is kind of tedious. It's probably the only other zone I don't enjoy that much. Yeah, last time I streamed this game, like years ago, I did Dancer off the rip. I'm kind of just not doing that because that's what I did last time. Dancer really is not that hard though, if you know her moveset. She's very exploitable. You can just do like Reinforced Club, which will do plenty of damage and stagger her and bleed her. And then it's been so long, this part I don't remember, but you just stick to either her left or her right leg, and then she's just like pretty trivialized. And even at low level, like Reinforced Club will kill her pretty quickly. God, dogs without a shield are just awful. Oh yeah, Dark Hand is... Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Get the invasion item. Whoops. Yeah, rats, dogs, enemies like that. If you try to iframe everything they do, you'll almost never have a good attack window, so... It's kind of just annoying. You have to like hit trade to get damage in. Or just be so passive and it takes forever. Look at you swinging in the wrong direction. His teacher must have been an elf. Bad sense of direction. That's what you that's like, you know, very skillless combat. That's what you expect out of those elves. I'm honestly surprised that elves are as popular as they are. You know, memes aside, I actually don't get it. Like, they're just humans with stupid ears. And for some reason, everyone is just... They're like the most popular fantasy race ever. I think that just says that most people are boring and they actually just want humans, right? It's like, hey, they're humans, but no, guys, it's fantasy because they got pointy ears. I do like dwarfs, but if we're talking like, you know, classical fantasy stuff, you know, Warcraft or Lord of the Rings or, you know, whatever new fantasy game coming out. Generally like orcs. I really like orcs when they're kind of like how they are in like Warcraft 3, where, you know, they're monstrous looking and all that, but they're not, you know, they're kind of like honorable, like savages, kind of. I think that's always a cool way to do it. Lineage 2 did that. But I really like orcs in like Lord of the Rings. I just don't like how like they lose all the time because plot armor and they're just like kind of made to be useless. But like Uruk-hai, right, or Uruk-hai, whatever you call them, right? Those guys are awesome. That's definitely my favorite race in Lord of the Rings. But I do like dwarves. I like dwarves way better than elves. Not even close. Liches are awesome. I don't know if liches count as a race. Am I being racist? It's more like a status. Like you were alive and then you got brought back from the dead. Right? And you're like a necromancer kind of thing, you know? Like really high tier caster that's an undead. I don't know if that counts as a race. I like goblins, especially when they're done well. I really like goblins in like there's this game called Styx. You play as a goblin. He's like a stealthy assassin. It's awesome. When goblins are like crafty, I really like them. If they're just kind of like dumb, then it's kind of whatever. Like goblins and Goblin Slayer are pretty lame, right? Because they're just idiots. But like when goblins are like crafty little bastards, then I like them. I like Warhammer Orcs. I don't trust someone that doesn't like Warhammer Orc. The Lothric Knight is going all the way over there, and now I have these guys. Man, I thought my R2 would hit there, but this guy's buddy bailed him out. Yeah, 40k orcs are good too. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Like, people always act like, you know, Warhammer Fantasy and 40k are just like so astronomically different. They're like, I only like this one and not that. It's the same thing. It's just one of them is set in the past and one of them is set in the future. That's the only difference. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. I don't really find elves noble. I find them like stuck up and they're just born with a silver spoon in their mouth. That's if you look at the like actual lore of most elves, that is what it is. Like they're kind of just born into greatness. They don't have to work for it. They're like born with natural talent, or they're born with immortality. Blah 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 blah. It's kind of lame. And everyone's crying in like different fantasy settings when like elves gives up their immortality. I'm like, oh, you're so sad now that they're like literally everyone else, right? Like no one was crying because the orc was born mortal, right? It's just not about it. I really do not like. The only elves I can think of that I like are in the Lord of the Rings movie. Not even in the books, because the elves in the books are all lame. But in the movies, there's that one elf that's friends with Aragorn that goes to Helm's Deep because he's a bro. Those guys are chads, all right? But they're not even in the books. But yeah, those guys are cool. Fuck all the other ones. I can't even think of an elf and anything else that I like. I'm sure there's something, and I'm sure there's like a anime or a game, and there's someone that happens to be an elf and they're cool. But off the top of my head, I can't think of any. Yeah, way more about Uruk-hai and orcs and trolls and giants and dragons and, you know, the interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of names in Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty bad at it. I remember, you know, Melchior, you know, / Morgoth. That's about it. Because he was cool. Sauron's a bitch, by the way. I just gotta throw this out there, and it's annoying because most Lord of the Rings fans are pretty casual, right? And they only seen the movies, and they don't even know who Morgoth is. People actually think Sauron is the big bad guy of that universe, where he's just a bitch, right? He's like a temporary. He's like taking over the castle while Daddy's away, because like it's not like Morgoth is gone for good, right? Morgoth comes back at the end times, right? So Morgoth is the real big baddie, right? And then Sauron is like, I'm the baddie while he's away, right? It's so stupid. But everyone thinks he's like the Dark Lord and all this. It's so silly. And like, he's just so incompetent because like, it's weird. I see all these people acting like Sauron is so much craftier and smarter than Morgoth, but Sauron fails constantly. I mean, literally constantly. Everything Sauron does in Lord of the Rings is a failure. Where like Morgoth actually won a lot of the battles and stuff, right? Like he actually got shit done. Sauron is just a fucking bitch. Why did it make me do a backstab for that long and then it's not a backstab and then so I get grabbed? That is so dumb. Like, just swing the axe, dude, but because the guy walked past me, it made it count as a backstab, even though he's in the middle of his stupid, like, grab animation. Like, just swing. I wish so badly you could deactivate your backstab animation, especially in Elden Ring. Like, holy fuck. I cannot believe it made me do a backstab there. That was so absurd. Idiot. You can actually drop the dark sword. Well, I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. He didn't really kill Morgoth. One, Morgoth literally has never died. Also, you know, there's a lot of preceding steps there, like Ungoliant and all that. Like, literally no elf could ever 1v1 Morgoth and have any chance. Like, it does not, don't work that way. Dude, modern WoW is such a shit show. Like, I love Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, especially Warcraft 3. Just awesome setting. Like, I actually think Warcraft 3 is my favorite fantasy story. And then WoW is like an embarrassment to that lore. Like, Morgoth is the second strongest being in Lord of the Rings. The only thing that maybe gives him a run for his money, like, if he's in his prime, like an Ungoliant, right? Because she's like a being of the void and all that, right? But it's pretty much whatever a god's name is, I forget, like Iluvatar or some crap. He's number 1, and then Morgoth is number 2, and like everyone else is below that. But Ungoliant is kind of a monkey wrench that is potentially around that strength, but hard to say. Because it's not like when Ungoliant fought Morgoth, he had already, you know, lost a lot of his power. Oh, I swear, the only thing I even like about Lord of the Rings is the Silmarillion. I don't really like the actual stories that much. The actual Lord of the Rings stories are just too black and white. It's black and white, and then the white side wins every single time, and for some reason they want you to be scared of the bad guys. Like, how are you supposed to be intimidated by the bad guys in Lord of the Rings? They lose every fight ever. Like, the fucking Nazgul, right? All get their asses kicked by Aragorn because he had a torch. Like, wow, I'm so scared. And then they get their asses kicked again by water, which I don't remember if that actually happened in the books or not, but like, it's like the bad guys just suck so much. Yeah, the setting is good, the backstory is good, right? A lot of the, like, you know, history and, you know, hidden stuff is all really cool, but the actual story is pretty weak, I would say. Yeah, the lore is really interesting, the actual story is kind of blah. Because in the Silmarillion, the bad guys actually win a lot, right? So it's more unpredictable, like, what's gonna happen and who's gonna live. Because a lot of, like, good guys just fail and die, but then some of the good guys win and, you know, whoop some ass, right? So it's like, it's a lot more interesting. I'm surprised the tree's not awake yet. There we go. I hate this boss. Like, you can't see anything because you have to be so close to him. And there's a lot of, like, waiting around because of, like, the poison on the ground and things like that. And then the grab animation on the arm is just bullshit. What? That's what are you kidding me? That's what I'm talking about. I was so far away from that, and for some reason it grabs you. And then every time he grabs you, they always make him do the most annoying giant ass AoE attack, so you cannot like heal easily, right? Because they're just trying to kill you. So dumb. Like, that's what I expect out of Dark Souls 2. Like, that had no tell on it. God, this boss is so trash. Amazing gameplay. Alright, go to hell. No one likes you. You don't even have a mother. You're just a dumb tree that was grown out of nothing. And a bunch of morons that are apparently trained by elves worship it because they're stupid. Thankfully, we never have to do that boss again. And most of the bosses are good. Most of the other bosses that aren't good aren't like cheap. They're just kind of like too easy, like the deacons. They're not like, you know, bad mechanically. Alrighty. No more stupid zones I don't want to do, other than the demon runs or whatever, but that just is what it is. But yeah, back on elves. You know, people can like whatever they want. I don't actually care. I just am surprised that elves are so popular. I'm never surprised by an individual having individual tastes and, you know, liking whatever they like. That's totally fine. But elves are crazy popular. And I just don't get it because they're just humans that have dumb ears and are immortal for some reason. Why did my leap attack not come out, or plunging attack? They're humans, but like boring, right? Like, I think humans are way more interesting. Like, imagine having centaurs, you know, dragons, and then your favorite race is fucking elves, right? I don't get it. I wonder if in Dark Souls, these enemies are someone's favorite. Probably. They're pretty whack looking. They're all like corrupt. Skin looks like they need some serious moisturizer. Gwyn, I think, counts like, you know, in the game they're called lords, right? And their race is kind of unclear. But, you know, he's basically a giant. But, like, I root for the dragons over Gwyn's forces, like, hands down. Although I do like Goff and Ornstein, obviously, and Smo. And I guess Guinevere is actually pretty cool. Like, throughout the game, she seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders. But honestly, that's about it for Gwyn's side. Oh, the blacksmith. Excuse me, the blacksmith is awesome. But yeah, Nameless King knows what's up. That's what I'm talking about. You know, he sided with the dragons. Awesome. Like, the dragons aren't just like idiot brutes, you know, they actually had, you know, intelligence and stuff. At least at that point in the story. Well, I don't mean the illusion of Guinevere. That thing's like a piece of shit, but like actual Guinevere seems pretty anti-Gwyn actually. I do love Nito. Who the hell doesn't love Nito? That guy's awesome. Seath is a bitch. I think that's one of the most universally agreed upon things ever, is that Seath is a bitch. Like, it's kind of funny because even if, like, I've seen people that, like, don't really like the dragons, but they still think Sith is a bitch for, like, portraying them and, like, why he portrayed them and everything. And then just, like, everything he does, like, kidnapping women and stuff. Like, what a fucking bitch. And then, like, what he does in Dark Souls 2 is still bitch-like behavior. Yeah, no, he don't even got scales. Ridiculous. You gonna come over here? I probably should have killed that guy before he woke up, because now it's gonna be annoying to deal with. Stop screaming, you sound like an idiot. Woo! He just guard broke himself. That's so weird. I mean, a lot of bosses in Dark Souls I wouldn't say are evil. Like the Moonlight Butterfly is literally just like natural life that got, you know, messed up by Seath. They're not really even that hostile. Nothing wrong about those guys. The demons are just trying to live, right? They didn't really do anything wrong. And like ones in the asylum got, you know, captured by Gwyn, so that's, you know, not really their fault. Guinevere's not Guinevere. Gwendolyn is pretty evil. Seath is really evil. Yeah, and Pontiff is evil as fuck. That's Dark Souls 3, but yeah, Pontiff is evil as fuck. I think Pontiff is the most evil, classically evil, I suppose, character in all the series. Like, he's like he's awesome though. Like, I really like how he came from the Painted World, and he's got like the inverse issues. Most people have like gone through so much hardship in the real world that they go to the Painted World for like, you know, reprieve, respite. Where Pontiff was born in the Painted World and is bored by it and doesn't care about it at all, and has, you know, ambitions of everything, and yeah, is a real tyrant. I'm honestly sad that he's not the final. I mean, he kind of is the final boss in a way, in terms of like the lore. He is the main bad guy of Dark Souls 3, I would say. But he was going to be the final boss. But Soul of Cinder is an amazing final boss too, to be honest. But it'd have been cool if, like, after a Soul of Cinder, you fight Pontiff. That'd be pretty cool. And like Nashandra type deal. Alright. This is another enemy that is super annoying without a shield, and then really easy with one. Say one thing about Pontiff, apparently his mother still loves him, so I guess he had to be nice at some point. I mean, he doesn't really strike me as, like, especially before the Profound Flame, I doubt he was, like, you know, just, like, bullying people or anything like that just to be a dick. He just seems to be really ambitious, and he doesn't care about, you know, screwing other people over to do it. That's what it seems like to me. You know, very tyrannical. I do think Soul of Cinder is pretty amazing. Like, the only thing I don't like about it is it's so easy to overstat him, right? And most people, I've seen this, most people that get to Soul of Cinder on their first playthrough, they do as much side content as they can. And let's not kid ourselves, almost everyone looks shit up, and even if they don't, let's say they stream it, their chat is going to tell them to you know, go find the hidden areas and fight like Nameless King and stuff, right? And if you, or just Champion Gundyr, right? So if you go out there and fight Champion Gundyr and stuff like that, by the time you get to Soul of Cinder, you're way too high level. And, you know, you'll overstat him and kill him so quick that he doesn't really go through his moveset. Some of his, like, really hard to deal with attacks, he'll either do never or once, right? And so you're not gonna really die to it if you just face tank it the one time and that's that. Where when you're lower statted, if there's a move in his moveset that you're really not understanding or you're really bad at dealing with, he's probably gonna do it 3 or 4 times, maybe even more than that, right? So it's gonna really fuck you up. But yeah, unfortunately, because he's the final boss, and you have the maximum, oh god damn it, you have the maximum amount of potential side content you can do. He's like the boss you're the most likely to overstat, like the most possible, and so he's a lot of people trivialize him. What I've seen, most people, the moveset they struggle with the most is normally, it's like, I think like the spear halberd thingy, like I think that's the one that gets a lot of people. But a lot of times he never even gets to that one. Yeah, I think if you're like 60, he feels pretty good. I think most of the end game of Dark Souls 3 is good at 60. Where if you go to like 80 or more, it is just too easy. God damn it. But like Soul of Cinder, so I think a lot of Dark Souls 2 and 3's lore is not as good as Dark Souls 1, and Miyazaki has said this. Right, Miyazaki didn't really like having to make sequels for Dark Souls, not because he doesn't like sequels. It was because Dark Souls was never planned to have sequel, right? And you can see this clear as day because Dark Souls 1 is a complete package, right? Like, especially when you uncover like the truth of like, the dark ending and everything, you're kind of just wrapping up with a bow, right? Like there's no need for any more. And I think Dark Souls 2 and 3 take away from the lore of Dark Souls 1 massively, right? All this stuff with like Koth and like figuring out what Gwyn really did. That's like the point of the game, right? Is kind of uncovering the kind of the conspiracy with Gwyn's pantheon and everything. And then just tacking all this extra shit onto it is just kind of pointless. And but this is what I like about Dark Souls 3 is Dark Souls 3 is aware of this. Dark Souls 3 is, I think Miyazaki did this on purpose. Dark Souls 3 is basically about forcing a sequel to a game that should never have had a sequel. That's what it, like, it's pretty obvious. Like, the world is being forced to continue on when it's not supposed to. And it's becoming really corrupt and messed up because of that, right? It's like, what makes Dark Souls so special is, like, people got into it and they didn't understand how to play it. They didn't know how equip load worked. And that's why it was so difficult, is they didn't know how to, like, min-max and roll and everything. But by Dark Souls 3, everyone knows how to play the game so well, it doesn't have the same magic to it anymore because of that. And like that's what the story is like about, is the world is being forced to continue on and like I don't think for a second I'm thinking too deep about this. When you look at Miyazaki talk about it in interviews, I think absolutely Dark Souls 3 is about, you know, having to make sequels for something that don't need to have sequels, right? And like the whole world of Dark Souls 3 is basically that. But so Soul of Cinder is like, it's honestly awesome because it's like the personification of like this world that it needs to die, you know, this cycle, you know, with the Age of Fire and everything that's being forced to continue on, that's not supposed to continue on, right? It needs to die, right? You can just like see that in that boss fight and the world around him and everything. But then it's Gwyn at the end, right? It turns back into Gwyn. It's going through all these, it's cycling through all these souls of all these people that have like, you know, try to cling to the Age of Fire. And then in its last moment, right, its last desperate thing, it goes back to the original person that, you know, linked the fire and the strongest person that linked the fire to try to, you know, continue the Age of Fire on. But then you got to kill his ass, right, and you know, stop this shit. It's awesome, right? It's such a great boss because not only does it like harken back to the first game that got everyone into it and all that nostalgia and stuff, but it makes sense that like this like desperate clinging on to the Age of Fire and stuff that's, you know, in the meta sense, clinging on to Dark Souls, right, when you should be letting go of it and moving on to, you know, new things. it's just the perfect way to do it, because that's what Gwyn was. You know, Gwyn was doing everything he could to continue the Age of Fire and, you know, not let go and all that stuff. So you get your nostalgia from the original game, and it also just makes like complete thematic sense, right? So yeah, I think it was such a great way to end the series. If you're gonna have to, like, you know, continue on a series that you're not supposed to, literally make it about that. So Dark Souls 3 actually, I think, has a lot of artistic merit because of that. Even though it is kind of ruining Dark Souls 1, but that's kind of the point. For Dark Souls 2 has no artistic merit whatsoever. Like, I'm sorry, Dark Souls 2 fans, but that lore is just completely tacked on. It makes no fucking sense. You don't, like, no one even knows where Drangleic is. It's just for some reason, you know, you have a character that's presumably in the Dark Souls 1 world or whatever. You find some fucking portal in a water well or like in a lake or whatever, and you go to some other world for some fucking reason. And then it's just like, what? Like, none of it's just so tacked on. Where Dark Souls 3 is tacked on, but at least it makes the story about being tacked on, right? It's got like kind of awesome meta commentary about like this, you know, bastardized work that's being dragged out and becoming stagnant and corrupt and, you know, that kind of thing. Where Dark Souls 2 is just kind of part of the process. Like, it means nothing. Like, you can't even argue this. Like, I love Aldia, right? His voice actor is so great. It's amazing. But every word that comes out of Aldia's mouth is just being really on the nose about what you could have learned in Dark Souls 1. You know, like learning about the first sin. All that's in Dark Souls 1. Everything that comes out of Aldia's mouth is just being really on the nose about what already, you know, what we already could have learned in Dark Souls 1, right? Nothing new happens. It's just a generic cycle, right? Dark Souls 2 is like any Age of Fire cycle that could have happened between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, right? It's just completely irrelevant. You don't need it at all. Now, again, there's cool characters within it, like Lucatiel and Aldia, right? That stuff's awesome. You know, there's, you know, cool things about Dark Souls 2, but in terms of like actual art, you know, it's pretty fucking pointless. Where at least Dark Souls 3 was like, okay, well, if we're gonna have to drag this series out, you know, I think they did about the best story they could with that. And I actually, a lot of people don't like how Dark Souls 3, you know, kind of sucks Dark Souls 1's dick, but I actually think it's really good that it does that, because sorry Dark Souls 2 fans, but Dark Souls 1 is the only game that should have ever existed in the series. That's why, like, I like Dark Souls 3 basically being a love letter to it, because Dark Souls 1 was the only one that should have ever existed, right? So that's kind of the point, and that, like, the whole purpose of Dark Souls 3 is kind of, you know, wrapping up Dark Souls 1 and giving the love to Dark Souls 1 that, you know, it always had. And, you know, if you're gonna have to, you know, carry the series on, you know, that's why I like Dark Souls 3 though. Like, if you're gonna have to, you know, have these bullshit sequels, you know, this is the one that I like because there's like a lot of art behind it, and then also the boss fights are just awesome, so, you know, that helps a lot. All right, let's get Hodrick to have an experience here. Always love having Hodrick fight everything, and I've seen Yellowfinger beat him one time. Generally, he whoops Yellowfinger's ass, but I have seen her win before. The hard part is getting him down here. He like needs to swing normally. Come on, Hodrick. You can. There you go. Sorry, crabs, but they actually fuck up his AI a lot, so it's generally like, see, he's targeting that crab right now. You can actually get the Black Knight to fight him, but it's very hard to do it. You have to kite the Black Knight out first, because the Black Knight will Hodrick will despawn if he goes over to the Black Knight. Dude, I saw a video where a guy got the Black Knights from Dark Souls 3 and put them in Elden Ring and had them fight the Crucible Knights. That shit was so awesome. That was like such a cool video. The Black Knights beat the fucking piss out of the Crucible Knights for the most part. The only reason it was like even close in some of the fights is because the Crucible Knights have way higher stats, because Elden Ring has higher stats, just because like Elden Ring is a longer game and you're supposed to level up more. But in terms of moveset and like stagger power and whatnot, the Black Knights are so much better than the Crucible Knights. It's not even close. All right, come on, Yellowfinger, where you at? Come fight our boy Hodrick here. He knows the crabs are the real threat. True. I'm actually so looking forward to playing Dark Souls 2 though, because it's the Souls game I haven't played in the longest amount of time. It has been so long. Even though it's kind of a shit show, I think I might enjoy, you know, seeing that shit show again. Dude, where's Yellowfinger at? There she is. That took forever. All right, let's see if she's got a chance. Basically, sometimes she'll just catch his AI doing something really stupid, and she can get him that way. But we have to get them to aggro to each other first here. Will you stop that? Yellowfinger, he's aggro to you, so you... There you go. Hodrick not closing the gap, so he's kind of just getting blasted. Oh, God. One shot. Holy fuck. Well, that's about as wrecked as you can get. Funnily enough, that was a partial parry, though, even though it was an auto, like, input read. Really funny watching the AI input read itself. Jesus, that was crazy, dude. All right, before he kills himself, let him fight the crabs. Not a good time to heal, Hodrick. You're being kind of a newbie there. Wow, Hodrick, buddy. There you go. Ooh, he can riposte these guys. I actually think they wanted you to use Hodrick like this, because that's what kind of how purples are. I think they did this on purpose, like very much so. All right, there's one more crab. You gotta be kidding me with that. Wait, where'd this crab go? There's absolutely a crab over here. What? Uh-oh. What happened to the crab? What? I'm so sure there's one more crab. Huh. I really would like Hodrick to heal himself, though, so he can continue his rampage. I wish I had remembered to kite out the Black Knight. That's a pretty big challenge for him. Dude, get in your heal. He's got a chunk of health. Dude's clearing out the forest for us. Point down. Yeah, I should have pointed down when he parried Yellowfinger. This guy can actually parry Hodrick, I think. I don't think he auto parries like Hodrick does, though. I'm not sure. Woo! Oh my God, Hodrick is cheating. You twink piece of shit. That is absurd. That he just two-shot that guy. Oh, I just remembered. Hodrick has actually got a really funny thing mechanically under the hood. So, great swords were originally going to have the weapon art of what that the ultras have, like stamp and stuff. And late in development, these swapped to what they have now, like that stance thing, like, you know, straight swords. But for some reason, the Flamberge only, although it does have the weapon art swapped, it actually has the numbers of the stomp weapon art. Like, they're just copy pasted. So even though it's doing the little stance move, it just has way higher damage numbers on it than it's supposed to, and that applies to Hodrick. That's why he's hitting so hard. It applies for the player too, so you can actually really fuck people up with that weapon art if you hit them with it. It's a very weird thing. Okay, well, he's almost killed everything. There's some dudes over here, but I'd be surprised if he lost to them. Might have to put Hodrick out of his misery here in a second. Oh, we can fight these guys. The grabby guys. There we go. Yeah, the Black Knight is like the perfect thing to have him fight at the end because it's so dangerous. Yeah, there's some weird stuff under the hood in these games. The grabby boys over here are, I don't think, as tough because there's only one, I think. Or the other spot, there's like two that can aggro. hit like that, the distance he just traveled. Bro. Bro, we need that Black Knight. I could technically still get it, but I'd have to like reload, I think, to get his summon sign back. But wow, he's kind of just decimating these guys. Dude, not 1,000 damage off of an R1. 1,100. You know, I do like maybe 200 damage if I do that. But see, if I try to get the Black Knight here... Well, maybe I'm really quick. Hold up. No. Audric, you son of a bitch. And yeah, and now if I bring it over here, I don't think his sign is there. I think you have to reload the area for the sign to come back. Alright, hold up. I wonder if I can just log off, log in, or if I have to reload the enemies. Because if all the enemies come back, that's kind of annoying. Because then Hodric's gonna have to fight all that nonsense again. Come on, doggy. Alright. I'm pretty... Oh, shit. Pretty sure I've tried logging off and on again, and it didn't work, but... Just to be sure. I like how I have 46,000 souls, and I've only leveled up, like, the one time. I think I leveled up, like, 3 levels or whatever, but I only did, like, 1 level up session. That damn... What the fuck? Ridiculous. And for some reason, people, when they play Elden Ring, are like, yeah, let's not level Vigor, though. Elden Ring is really unique in how much people don't level Vigor. And I guess all I can think of, it's because people see all the flashy weapon arts and spells, and they just want to do that stuff as fast as possible. And so they just... you know, don't want to level health, but it is so weird to me. Like in Elden Ring, how often you fight people. Because like that host we invaded earlier had a bunch of health. Although that guy, I think, was like, you know, getting twinked by his friend. But he had leveled health a bunch. Because he got parried and he didn't, I don't think he even went to half health, so. Oh, someone made a mod where you can get that spear? That's funny. Oh my god, Hodric's sign is back already. That's awesome. Oh, fantastic. I thought I had to reset the bonfire. Alright, let's get that Black Knight in here. I should probably flask so I don't get, like, one-tapped by the Black Knight. I kind of wish, Hodric wouldn't have his flasks, though. I think that's going to be kind of cheating. But maybe the Black Knight will dunk him while he's drinking. I guess we'll see. I do love Hodric, but I kind of have to root for the Black Knight here. I mean, look at these guys. It's like the manliest thing in the entire series. And they sound like mechs when they're running, dude. I love how these guys are in the demon runs and they'll just like murder everything in there. I'm on. Seriously, why can't we look like these guys? Like when we wear that armor, we just look like... we don't have the physique, right, to pull it off. Same, even more so with the Dragon Slayer armor. Player cannot pull that off at all. Like the boss looks like such a Chad, and then you look like a fucking dork that's trying to look like that Chad. Alright, I really hope the Black Knight can aggro to Hodric before Hodric gets a free shot in. Might even cheat a little bit to try to even that out. The Hodrick's already aggroed. Oh, there we go. Woo! Holy hell! Oh my god. Chat. Hodrick is a Chad, but let's be honest here. That was a fucking slaughter. Dear God. Yeah, you can kind of see why you can body the Crucible Knights, because like all those hits like chaining together, you stagger people like so easily. You know, poise break. God damn, dude. I love those guys. They're great. Wynn's finest, yep. Hodrick didn't have a chance, dude. I tell you though, if you did that fight over and over, I'm sure Hodrick can win. If he lands his weapon art, he'll like decimate that guy, but I think more times than not, if he fought over and over and over, I think the Black Knight would win more times than not, just because his attacks do chain together like that, and they're pretty quick, and he's pretty aggro, where Hodrick's AI kind of like will frequently kind of wait around and then get aggro and shit like that, so I think more times than not, the Black Knight wins. But I've only had them fight each other twice ever, I think, and I don't even remember who won last time. Damn, right as my R2 went off. Oh, you know, did we ever have him, we didn't have him fight the second big boy, but, oh well. Some of the videos people have made of enemies and bosses fighting each other are awesome. Some fun stuff out there. Maybe he did kill the second guy? Wow, I guess he was just so unnoteworthy, I already forgot. Yeah, I will say, Dark Souls 3's one flaw, I do think, is it's kind of backloaded. Right, the beginning of Dark Souls 3, it's not like it's bad. I mean, like, the Black Knight's cool there and all that. But, you don't get any, like, super awesome bosses for a second. But then once you kind of get going, it's just kind of like a non-stop greatest hits list, right? There's just so many awesome bosses once you get going. Dragon Slayer Armor, Twin Princes, Champion Gundyr, Nameless King, you know, Soul of Cinder, Gale, Midir, right? Just like, it's just Pontiff, Dancer, you know, it's just awesome boss after awesome boss. Then there's fucking Osiris. You know, that's a thing. He's okay, but like, if you're proper statted, he's pretty easy, and if you're understatted, he's bullshit with that stupid charge attack. Like it's like a one-frame startup leap attack. That's like famous that low-level players hate that though. Like when you do like level 1 runs and stuff, it's just so bullshit. And like the way you have to play around it is just not fun. What a lot of people do is like they'll just try to have a max upgraded weapon and use lightning bundle or whatever and kill him really quick. When I do low level stuff, I like to have a low upgraded weapon as well, and then it's just, he's annoying. I like this game though. Like God damn it, looking at chat for 1 second I get blasted. But I like Cathedral and the Catacombs a lot, even though their bosses aren't anything special. But I like the zones so much that I really do like them. But Illithrill is also an awesome zone, and then it has an awesome boss, right? So it is kind of undeniable. That's kind of when the all-stars start coming in. Lothric's greatest hits, if you will. Alright, we've pretty much gotten all the loot in here. Every damn time. Missed by an inch. Mob's not having it. Uh-oh. I fucked that up. It's pretty easy to kill that guy before he wakes them up too. I wonder if I will one-shot with Warcry up. Not quite. So close though. That attack looks awesome, and it's cool that the weapon drag on the ground actually has a hitbox, but ultimately it's not a very practical move. Can't do this quest out here until I get the ring that gives me int, and that is kind of far into the game. I don't plan on leveling my int just to talk to this guy. Oh, you know what? We didn't get the loot by the Black Knight. And that's actually kind of important. So, a weapon I'm about to get, I'm really jealous of people that, like, just love this weapon in terms of, like, just, like, the aesthetic and everything. It's, like, the kind of weapon they want to use. Because, you know, I love axes, and I always want to use axes, but their movesets, aside from Dark Souls 2, are always pretty wanting. You know, they're not great. But this weapon coming up is, like, if it's your favorite weapon, it's, like, so mainable. It just has... there's a lot of depth to it. There's also a lot of, like, cheesy bullshit it can do. It's just a really fun weapon in PvP, PvE. Like, just so many ways you can use it. So if it's, like, your jam, you have a lot of... like, good times. Yep, twin swords. The mercenary blades up here. They're super fun to use. If axes got this kind of love, I'd be so happy. Dude, every game that comes out, like, I'm not exaggerating. When Elden Ring was coming out, all I was, like, thinking of was, like, please make axes decent. Please make axes decent. I just want to be a cool knight with an axe. And then they were the worst they've ever been. I can't even believe that. Elden Ring has the weakest normal axes in the entire series. Like, how the hell did that happen? Yeah, right there, you can main these for the whole game. And there's so many different ways to build with them. They're so strong. You have actual combos. And, like, their combos are really unique. Like, you got, like, L1 into... no, the weapon art. The L2 into L1. But you can also do, like, L2 into, the follow-up L2 and then do, like, an R1. And there's, like, all kinds of stuff you can do. It's super interesting. Yep, Dark Souls 2 is the only game with good axes, and you bet your ass I'm using them. I'm not gonna play Dark Souls 2 and not use fucking axes. Like, out of all the things I hate about that game, it at least has fucking awesome axes, so there's... I ain't using no fucking claim... Well, actually, I might switch to a claymore every once in a while for funsies, but, like, I'm absolutely using axe. Probably start with, like, the bandit class, because it starts off with an axe. Something like that. We'll see. Oh, the crabs are back. How about that? What else do I need to do? I think just the boss. Yeah, I think we can just go to the boss and we're, good to go. I don't even think Miyazaki hates axes. And, you know, Miyazaki doesn't do all the weapons and stuff. A lot of that's the team. I think it's more of they just don't really care that much. And because they don't, like, love them like katanas or anything like that. They kind of just make them generic with, like, oh yeah, axes, brute weapon, swing hard. Yeah, that's what axes are, right? And that's just it. They don't look into, like, you know, actual axe masters from history, the actual different ways they've been used. You know, they're not gonna go above and beyond to make axes really cool, which just sucks, man. Like axes are so unique, and, like, the things they can do, like with disarming and things like that, is so awesome. Like the grabs and stuff. Basically, how axes work in reality is they can be very aggressive and very brutish, but in a skillful way, as silly as that sounds. But, like, you really can bully your opponent and use a lot of strength and momentum and things like that. But in a very skillful way. And they need to be used skillfully. They're actually a really bad weapon generally for idiots. They're not worth it. Like, they generally require quite a bit of like physical conditioning and training to use properly. And a good axe, now it depends, but like a lot of axes are more expensive to make than a sword, so they're just not good for your like your common militia or whatever. Man at arms. Yeah, they're basically the quality build IRL. Like, you need skill and strength. Like, legitimately, you need to be skillful, but you need to be in very good shape. And Jesus, I like the 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the 64 months. Chat, I want Kirby Fighter, that emote there. I want that, but green so bad. Level golden glow. Oh my god. We'll get to that. Whoops, I forgot to rush the boss to beat the crap out of him at the start. Damn it. Man, that sucked. I barely got any damage in. Well, that'll make me have to play the boss more, but this is not that awesome of a boss, let's be honest. I can see him being fun for new players, though. Like, the gimmick's probably pretty, surprising. I don't get why these crystals pop up. They don't do anything. They don't even block your movement. Oh yeah, can't you parry this guy? I just remembered that. I don't know if I want to try that or not, but you have to, like, bait out a certain move, or I think. He's got, like, a melee move. He just popped up and then despawned again. Oh, was that the real one? No, he just took a second to die. Yeah, the purple one's the real one. See, the problem is, a lot of times when you hit him, he just, triggers, like, going to teleport again, so he doesn't do the melee attack. I think you have to kind of, like, just stand in front of him. This guy's watched too much Naruto. Although, you know, Dragon Ball, I guess, predated that kind of thing. They had, like, the clone shit, too. I doubt Dragon Ball was first with that, though. It's like quite the cliche, like, shtick. Come on. No, he's not gonna have it. Wizard Elf, get him? Yeah, I agree. He does give me elf vibes. That is so ridiculous that does that much damage. Like, so little of it hit me. Well, no chance to parry the entire fight. Never did it. Boo. Loser. Honestly, he's more interesting in Duke's Archives. Like, working with the enemies and, like, moving through the level. It's more fun than this fight. All right, let me turn in my flask stuff. There's actually more flask stuff I could grab in the swamp down below. I kind of want to get that out of the way because I hate it. The swamp is just annoying. And if I can just get that out of the way, then there's not much else annoying in our path. So, I just muscle that out real quick. Maybe buy a dagger for quick step. Besides, you get a lot of flask items and stuff, and that's nice. Yeah, we'll probably PvP a lot when we're around like level 30. I think that's we'll get more action then. Did I not get a bone shard? Did I miss something? I feel like I'm supposed to have one. Let me see if Yellowfinger gave us a Deed of a Giant. I love that emote. It's very easy to use it ironically or unironically. Because like if you, let's say you're a Phantom and your host like parries an invader on his own, like you're not helping him, and he wins, you know, you can do that when he wins, and, you know, it's fine. But if someone does something incredibly stupid, you know, like falls off something, or like you have a host R1 spamming and he gets parried by the red and dies, and you're the Phantom, and then you like clap at your own host, you know, it's great. I actually don't remember Shroik in Dark Souls 2. I'll have fun checking out the emotes over there. I remember this guy. I remember that emote. That was a pretty beloved one. I actually do really like that one, and I think it's a shame it's not in Elden Ring. And there is the ever beloved, well, what is it? Which I don't think that's not in Elden Ring, is it? Which that is a missed fucking opportunity right there. Like that emote is just, I think it's the most legendary emote in the series. Also the most BM thing that has ever existed. Because they have welcome, but welcome is not the same. Because, well, what is it? You got the little walk forward, the little head turn, all that bullshit. Yeah, and then you have the legend video, obviously. It was popular even before that, though. But that's why it was perfect, because everyone knew the kind of people that used that emote. So using it in that video is just the chef's kiss. I don't think only Afro really makes videos anymore. Kind of a shame. But, you know, if people ain't feeling it, they ain't feeling it. But yeah, I don't think he's made a YouTube video in ages. I should really have bought anti-poison stuff. We're gonna have a bad time in here. And oh god, if Yellowfinger invades me, it's just gonna be, crap. I should probably buy anti-poison items before I do this. Dark Souls 1 did have really good videos, just because, like, the way invasions were and everything. I think Elden Ring has had some great videos too, though. I think Elden Ring and Dark Souls 1 have definitely been the best games for content creators. Dark Souls 2 is probably the worst, just because of soul memory and everything else. It's like cheat or get out. And just activity problems. And Dark Souls 3 is alright, but, I mean, the actual PvP itself is just not, you know, that great.
Ashen.
I remember one of the first Dark Souls videos I saw. I think it's called something along the lines of "It's difficult being a Dark Wraith," and obviously it's very true. But back then, that was even truer, because back then, Reds had no cap upwards, right? So you could be level 20 and invade someone that's level 300. And not only that, but there was just so much bullshit that hosts could do that you no matter how skilled you were, you could never deal with. Like Tranquil Walk of Peace. And because in each area, each zone, there was only one spawn location for Reds, they knew where you were at, so while you were spawning in, they would just cast Tranquil Walk of Peace. Right? Shit like that. And, yeah, I remember that video called "It's Difficult Being a Dark Wraith," and he was fighting all these super high level hosts. You know, he's like level 30 or 40 or something. He's fighting all these like level 100s and 200s, and they're all spawn camping. They're all using Tranquil Walk of Peace. But his build was Hornet Ring, Parry Dagger, high critical riposte damage, try to one-shot them. And he just had like this video, like timed to the music, where he's just getting ganked and ganked and ganked, and then he starts, you know, parrying everyone and murdering them. It was a good time. That was so long ago, man. That was really early on in Dark Souls 1's life. Grab all the stuff down here. Oh yeah, I remember the Hovel one. I think it was a little bit later, but I do remember that one. And then of course, he's back, which I think is the most infamous / famous Dark Souls, Elden Ring, you name it, video out there. It is the classic. And the thing is, Elden Ring is so much more mainstream. There's so many, like, how do I put this? There is so many content creators for Elden Ring. A lot of them end up just being kind of faceless and forgettable and blending into each other because everyone and their mother is trying to make Elden Ring videos when it came out, right? Because it was the game, right? Where Dark Souls 1, when it came out, although popular, was so much more niche. You know, it was not that big in comparison. So there wasn't that many content creators for it, right? So what content was made for it was very memorable. Or it's a lot harder for an Elden Ring content creator to make something that's like a classic like that because there's just a billion Elden Ring videos. That happens with a lot of things, though, on the internet. Okay. Want to get through this. I'll probably wrap up after this because it's getting late. But this will be nice because it puts us in a spot where mostly just good content in front of us. Try to get the annoying stuff out of the way. Oh yes, the wall. Good old Londo archers. Swinging twice on these guys is a trap. They'll just jump and murder you. The key is let them attack once, you hit them once, and then you wait for them to jump. You try to swing twice, a lot of times they'll just get smacked. They really want you to upgrade your weapon at this point, though. They're throwing shards at you like candy. They want to, and even the unlimited shard item is in this zone. They want to make sure for like Abyss Watchers, you've leveled your weapon. Oh man, Abyss Watchers. There we go. That's a good boss. It's not my favorite in the game or anything like some people, but it's still a good boss. Phase 1 is a little silly though, because it's kind of RNG, and sometimes you can get frame trapped with no fault of your own, especially if your damage is low. Like with all those enemies up, it's just possible for certain attack combinations to not be dodgeable. But that happens a lot in Souls games. That's why it kind of excels at one-on-one combat. You know, I really thought there was loot back here. Probably gonna get invaded by Yellowfinger, and it's gonna be annoying. I do love Abyss Watchers theme. Like, man, that's a good song. It just fits the vibe, and it's such a unique vibe. Like that kind of like doomed night kind of thing. It's really good. And obviously Abyss Watchers are supposed to kind of like be similar to Artorias. But what I really like is both in the boss fights and the lore and the music, they're similar but still very different. And I think they did a very good job with that. That's satisfying. There's some good loot. Feel like I'm forgetting something, but we'll deal with it. 250 and he doesn't die. That was a Warcry leap attack. If I was two-handing, it might have worked. Although I'm heavy weapon, so probably not. Or raw, excuse me. Having a Metal Gear moment. It's actually pretty awesome to rush this part of the game and kill this boss up here, mini boss. Because Hovel Ring early makes it easy to equip the Lothric Knight set. Which again is good for fending off twinks, if you're worried about getting invaded by twinks. Yeah, Illithril, straight sword, Lothric Knight set. Getting the equip load, you know, from rings or whatever. It really helps you be a pretty strong ass host really early on. And especially if you've got a friend, right? If you're like going to outnumber the invader and one of you is that tanky, leveled up health a lot, Got the Illithral Straight Sword. Like, that's pretty powerful. Alright. Asylum Demon, but harder. I'm pretty sure that's a frame trap. I don't think you can actually dodge that at that range. God damn it. Well, that was just frame trap city. That's kind of annoying though, because like it's just RNG. If he didn't open up with that rock breath, it'd be fine. Because once you're close to him, he never uses it, and then you don't have to deal with that. Like when it actually kind of sucks though, I guess, because once you're close to him, he actually is a lot less interesting. But I don't really like moves like that though. That like, oh, you dodged it at the last second and you still get hit no matter what. Actually, you probably can dodge it. You probably just don't roll. You probably just run to the side and you'd probably evade it that way. I kind of want to test that now. Because that was definitely a frame trap, though. There was, like, no way you were going to roll a second time. The millisecond my roll ended, I got hit. See, like, that is so much better RNG, though. Because, like, now you're already really close to him, and you could just stay near him, and then he's way easier. But I want him to do that rock attack. But I do want to see if you're running sideways, if it dodges it. There we go. Oh, yep. That's the deal. Oh, hey, we learned something. It's also possible if you are kind of farther to the side that the tracking is not good enough. But sad is, this is the only time you ever fight this guy. So learning that little detail about his rock attack is not particularly useful because not only do you never fight him again. Yeah, okay, you gotta run. I wanted to see, but oh my god. Okay, now that one, the reason I didn't get hit was because I was farther away. That's good. The rocks had to travel farther, so then it's not a frame trap. But anyway, a lot of times when you fight this guy, he never does that attack. So like knowing how to dodge it like that doesn't matter too much. Why on earth did that hit me? Honestly, this guy's moveset is legit enough that it would have been nice if he had like way more health and it was like a fully flushed out fight. That's a pretty decent moveset, honestly. But like, I'm level 13, which most people are going to be higher level than that. And I'm plus 2, and most people are going to be higher level than that. So let's say you get to this guy like level 30, 25, even 25. Right, plus 3 maybe. He's gonna be pretty easy, even if you like never understand his moveset. I wonder if early in development he was gonna be a boss, because it is kind of strange. Because obviously he's like a reskinned Asylum Demon, and Elden Ring did that. But Elden Ring, they pretty much copy-pasted the moveset of Asylum Demon, and they just added extra effects onto it and stuff. Where this guy has a pretty different moveset from Asylum Demon. And it's pretty flushed out, like straight up. He's better than the Asylum Demons in Elden Ring. Like absolutely, his moveset is better. So that's kind of weird. They really want you to think that dragon's gonna come to life. But I actually think baits like that are pretty good because that way when it does come to life, you know, it's more like, oh shit. Why did that not stagger him? That is so bullshit. Dude, that makes me so aggravated. Like, fucking R2 him, and it doesn't stagger him. And then right after that, this guy, of course, is aggro. So then I can't swing again. What the fuck? I'm really surprised that didn't stagger him. Normally R2s knock them down. even if they're like teleporting out. Probably had to do a leap attack or something. Anyway, good aim. Of course, elves don't know how to use a crossbow. I actually really like these guys' chest piece. If you combine it with like the northern stuff, like northern pants, and then their chest piece, it looks awesome. But for some reason, their chest armor is incredibly rare. It like, if you look at their drop table, for some reason, it's just a way lower drop. I don't even know why. It's not good. It's like garbage in terms of stats, and it looks like, you know, really tattered stuff. So most people wouldn't care about it. But for some reason, it is just one of the rarest chests in the game, if not the rarest chest in the game. I honestly don't know what's up with that. It might even be a mistake. Like, it's just so random that that has such a low drop rate that I feel like it's a mistake. Sucks too, because I really do like it. When I want to have like a light armor set, like equip load or whatever, that's pretty much the one that I want. But holy crap, you have to like get all the item find and like kill them over and over and over, and even then it can take a while to drop. All right, we're not done with the swamp, but that's probably close enough. I think I'll wrap up there because it's getting late. I might finish the swamp off stream just because there's nothing fun about running around the swamp picking up the loot. If I get that out of the way, it's just more convenient. And I might like maybe kill some Lothric Knights or something just to get their loot. But yeah, we'll have the real boss fight soon. And then we'll probably play some Arc Knights, and whenever we're done with this game, we'll probably play Dark Souls 2. Then maybe try some new games. Let me clean up my inventory real fast, though. Let's see. Nope. Nope, I do need to do that. Hold on. Buttons for days. Keep the claymore on me, because I might actually level up to be able to use that. We shall see. I might keep the stam regenerating shield. I am so excited though to fight like the big shot bosses. I haven't fought them in a long time, and I have a lot of love for the bosses in this game. All right, boys. I'm out of here. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Although I do have a lot of like painting and shit I need to do in real life. That might take up a lot of times. So I don't stream it just because of that. But I will do my best to stream tomorrow. And yeah, I'm out of here, and peace.